Welcome back, beautiful souls. This is Soldier of Light reporting for duty. And I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in before we get started because I've been having some issues with some technical stuff on this side. Can you guys hear me okay? If you could in the chat, please let me know if you can hear me all right. Once we get that, we'll go ahead and get started. Let's see. Anyone in the chat? You guys hear me? Can you see me? Hmm. Are you guys seeing me or hearing me? Okay. Okay. I just want to double check. Okay, cool, thank you. 'Cause I'm having issues. If you see me kinda looking back and forth, I have 2 screens, one on my left, one on my right. The one on my left shows me I can look to see your chat, and the one on the right is only has my camera on it, so if you see me kinda looking back and forth, then that's just me, just looking between the 2, so I've been having some issues, like, it was having echoes. I have 2 screens up now showing myself on it's weird. I've been having some issues with the technology lately. Um, but I wanna say thank you guys all for tuning in, once again, and also for the beautiful souls who are going to maybe catch this after the live. I know it's a little earlier than I usually go at 7, but, 6 o'clock on a Friday. I know a lot of people are out probably having fun, or if they have hopefully they're having fun, or they're out doing something still currently, but that's okay. Hopefully, they'll get to catch up a little bit later, or they'll get to catch the video, on the flip side, so but, just wanna say thank you guys, for all your support. I know that I haven't been on, like, as I mentioned in my previous live, I haven't been on much, lately. It's because I've been traveling all over the country and helping people in a different way, helping them understand get their standing back, take their sovereignty back, learning the processes of doing that, and you know, coming back onto the land, as God created you to be and not lost at sea, as our government has made us to be. So I've been kind of doing that. I feel like I was pushed into doing that from spirit as well. Um, so I just want to say that I'm also reading for people around the nation as well. So I'm kind of doing both hats. I feel like I'm on the battlefield a lot of ways, which is a good thing. I know many of you are as well. So the best knowledge that I could give to you at any point is educate yourself. Educate, read, start reading things. Even if get some books and everything. Don't read all the stuff on the internet. Most of it's probably garbage. So read some books. Not saying that books aren't right either, but just if it resonates with you, roll with it. And don't change what you feel or believe because somebody else tries to talk you out of it because they believe something themselves that may differ from yourself. That's part of the situation where energy comes in and someone overpowering the other in their own energetic field, and changing how you feel. If it resonates with your heart and soul, stay with that. Stay with that truth because that's the reason why there's a reason why that it's resonating with you so much is because it's that spirit, that's your higher self, that's God talking through you and telling you pay attention to this stuff. It's like the little hairs on your arm or the back of your neck. When you kind of feel that energy. Like some people, it's whatever their situation is. There's a reason. It's the same scenario. It's just a different meaning, or different aspect to it when spirit's telling you pay attention. And then a lot of people out there will do that. They'll feel like I'm strong to believe this. I stay with this, and all of a sudden they'll start to hear other things going on. And it resonates in their soul. They start to hear other people talk about, well, I don't believe this, or this is going on. I feel this way, and then all of a sudden they slowly start to not resonate or feel they start to doubt, and that's when the brain comes into play. And that's why this is a war for your soul, but through your mind. And that's what we've been fighting. And before we kind of get started too in some of the readings, I just wanted to also, I mean, lately I've been spirit's really been catching up to me a lot more than it has been in the past, which is amazing. I've been asking for it, and a unique thing happened to me when I was reading for a man in Michigan. I was at a seminar and I was reading for him after the seminar, and it was the first time that I ever channeled a a man and a woman together, and it was grandparents that came together to talk with him. And I actually had both of them speaking to me at the same time. Usually, I hope it's only one because that's the energy that comes through. But that was the first time that I've had that happen where it was, and I knew right away it was. Mother, father figures, older figures. I knew right away that that was who it was. And as soon as I started talking, he closed this gentleman closed his eyes, and I could tell that automatically got to him. So I don't know if that's who he was, um, if that's who he wanted to come in, or he wasn't planning for that to happen. And that was something that happened, and it was pretty strong. I just wanted to I mean, it's crazy. I even did a free reading for a waitress at a restaurant. I was reading for some others, and I got done, and she was she's not a good waitress by any means. She was she was fairly new, but she had been waitressing before, but she just wasn't good. And we had her two days in a row, unfortunately. But long story short, there's a reason why the universe put her in my path. Right at the end, she's like, "Would you do a reading for me?" I was like, "Sure." So I did a reading for her, and I found out why things are the way they are for her, and I kind of directed her towards where she was going, and I feel like it was a big thing for me. Even that reading was an opening moment for her, and I feel like that's what's going on. I know some of you have reached out also to me for readings on my website. I pulled my website down purposely, so that's the reason why some of you haven't been able to get through for readings. That's why I put on this banner. If you are in need of a reading, between the stuff that I'm doing for shows, traveling around the country, pretty much every 2 weeks, I'm just rotating and driving. So for these seminars, but on top of that, it's a lot of energy for me to expend. So what I'll do is if you do need a reading, let's say it's an emergency or something like that, email me. If you need a more personal reading than we can get here, just a one question, maybe it's something you have something you want a little more depth, then email me at the website at the email address. And it's not SOUL for the soldier part of my email. It's spelled regularly for my email. So if you email me that, I'll respond back to you, and then we'll work out some way for payment. It's just they cost me money also, and the payment processing has cost a lot of money for that too. So there's another way for us to, if you need a reading, to be able to do that. Besides, obviously, being in person. So maybe me traveling around the nation will maybe I'll get to meet a lot of you somewhere down the road. We'll do a personal reading in person or man to woman or man to man. That's because you don't want to be a person. So I forgot. I caught myself on that. See, words are power. So I also was looking at a lot of stuff going on in the news, and I really don't, but I've been paying attention lately, and I feel it's because I've been led that way. So and the reason why I'm kind of bringing this up, um, separate note I'll talk about in a minute, but part of what I've been asking for is for my gifts to open up, more of them. And the other night, or actually 2 nights ago now, I believe, it all kinda runs together. I've been having way more dreams lately, like, pretty much I've had dreams the last 3 or 4 nights, and I don't dream very often, but when I do, they're very strong and powerful. But I timeline jumped, I know I did, in this last one, and strange thing was, I felt like I was in jail, okay? Like I was being arrested for something, but and I felt like that was the case in this vision. I saw a house I've never lived in before, at least that I know of off the top of my head, and literally it was a weird dream. I was on a bus, like a prisoner bus, but they didn't have bars on the windows or anything like that, and the seats weren't like regular seats, or like reclinery type seats, which was weird, I know. But we went to a home that I felt like was mine, and I'm like, "Great, now these criminals are gonna see where I live." And this so we get to this it's like a prison, but it's not a prison. It doesn't have, like, a bunch of, like, barbed wire like you see traditional prisons of, but I know it was a prison. It had huge bays of people, and they would go in line to eat, and I feel like there was, that's what it was. Well, the reason why I'm getting to this point is in this in this prison, there was a point where I was running, and I came to an edge of a cliff, and I could have climbed down this cliff, and there was water. I could have just jumped into the water, and I stopped myself from jumping or from leaving because I'm like, "You know what? If I'm in trouble, then I don't wanna take off and get in worse trouble." That was the thought process. And and it was weird because then also during that situation, there was a lot of chaos in this prison camp, and God gave me my sidearm, my gun, or not a gun, my arm. He gave me my arm, my sidearm. He gave me my arm, in my dream to protect myself, and it was weird, that, if I'm in this prison, how did I get that? But I got it. Nothing happened, with that situation. I'm just saying God was telling me, like, here's what I felt after the fact. It was a weird dream. I woke up, and it was just a weird dream, and I was visiting a place I've never been before, and I was like, "Why?" But I remember complaining, "Why was I put in this place? Why was I arrested? Why am I in trouble? I have no history of anything." So, but God gave me the opportunity to escape, and I didn't. And I feel like that was the next day when I woke up, stuck in my whole head. Like, I could not get that thought of where I visited out of my brain. And then literally I was driving down the road and my energy felt weird when I woke up that next day, when I woke up from these dreams. And I woke up 3 different times. I actually used the restroom and went back to sleep and went straight into that vision in my sleep again. I mean, that's how weird it was. I usually don't do that. If I wake up, I'm good. But I went right back into this vision 3 times. And what I feel is that was God's message to tell me, "I gave you the opportunity to escape, and your fear held you back." And then I come back to the Babylon, escaping Babylon. And what came to me was a lot of men and women in God's creation are scared to death of getting out of this. Even though we talk about doing, oh yeah, we're getting out of it, we're getting out of it, we're gonna have to be saved, we're gonna be saved. But you also have to take responsibility and action for yourself. The reason why this has been going on is because we have given the power to them voluntarily, to all the dark. So you consented, even by not saying anything, you consent. So that comes back to the fact where I feel God was saying, you know what? I've shown you signs. I've given you signs. You continue to go down the path that you're going. I'm also giving you the strength and the ability to be able to help yourself and help others. That's pulling yourself out of Babylon. And I feel like that's what God's message was to me and to relate to everyone here today was you have an opportunity to escape the matrix, escape Babylon, but you also have to take responsibility and take action through the abilities that God has given you, specifically given you, and when He created you. He gave you these beautiful gifts that only you have, whatever that looks like to you, but He gave you those special abilities to be able to work through these problems. So that's what I wanted to focus on is that even for myself, I was saying, "I gave you the opportunity, you didn't escape. You chose not to because of your fear and your doubt." So God's saying, "Release the doubt, release it to me, and all will be well. Don't be afraid." So that's what I feel the most of what this situation is. I talked to a lot of men and women across the country, talked to thousands of them now, and they same thing. How will if I'm trying to take my sovereignty back and all that, how is this gonna affect my retirement? How is this gonna affect this? How is this gonna affect that? My husband doesn't agree with what I'm doing. My wife doesn't agree with what I'm doing. So that's all fear. That's all fear. God said, "I'm giving you opportunity, and it's not gonna be easy, but we've allowed this to happen for thousands of years, and now it's our turn to use the power and the abilities that God's given us to pull ourselves out of Babylon." So that's what it looks like. Um, and funny thing is, when I was in Michigan at this last off the separate topic, but I was in the as you've if you some of you follow me for a while now, know when I get these signs to go out and film, I go out and says go out and record the moon, go out and record the sun. And the times that I've had that, I've had one where I've seen ships flying around the sun. I've also caught one where the sky was pulsing when it told me to go out and start and film. Same thing with the pictures that I posted on my YouTube. At night, when the last, I think it was the full moon or eclipse or something like that. Maybe it was an eclipse. And I saw the pyramid ship in the moon. Well, during the trip to Michigan here this last weekend, I was there and someone told me to start filming the moon. We're out by the water there in Lake Michigan. We're out there in the Great Lakes, and when we were out there, we were on the water, and someone told me to look up and film it. Well, the crazy thing is there was a ship flying around the moon, and I watched the moon. I have videos of it. The moon would just light up like a pulse. Like, it would get super bright pulse. You can't see it to the naked eye. But when you're filming it and I have it zoomed in pretty far, too close, and you can see literally the moon would just light up, boom, and just fade back to regular. It was pretty crazy. So, and I saw these ship flying around it. So every time it's told me that is to prove something, to show me that there's something here. So, what I just want to say to you guys also is continue to ask God, but also you have to start reading, educating yourself on things, reading books. Look at the lies that have been told literally about everything in our life. Start educating yourself. I know it's hard to kind of, but if you read it and it doesn't resonate with you, then there's a reason. If you read something and it resonates with you, keep it. And just the more knowledge you can, even 5 minutes a day, because I don't have time, I go to work and all that. Well, if you're on I'm pretty sure a lot of you look down at your phone on your break when you're taking a cigarette smoke or, even if you're, going to the restroom. Whatever the situation is, that's quality reading time. 5 minutes, take 5 minutes, read something, learn something, and not the stuff that's regurgitated online, I mean, whatever it might be, a book, start reading a few sentences of a book, a page, whatever it is. Start looking at something, start learning, start gaining your knowledge because knowledge is power. That's the unfortunate part of this whole thing is we've been dumbed down for a reason. Um, Rockefeller's in 1903 when he purchased the educational system. He says, "I want workers and doers. I don't want thinkers." So that's the reason why they changed all of the curriculums of the educational system. It's to make us dumber and to continue to regurgitate the things that they're teaching us. So all you who have PhDs and master's degrees and all that, guess what? You're great at regurgitating the cabal's information. So congratulations. And you got the debt that came with it as well. So, but it's just it's just crazy. So that's been the most mind-blowing thing, all the stuff that I've been learning a lot. Going back and reading the Constitution, reading the Bill of Rights, the original one, and start learning these things because you'll see the difference in how things have been changed. Like democracy, for instance. Even hearing all these political fools, they're threatening our democracy. You don't want to be a democracy. You don't. Democracies have every democracy that started as a democracy led to communism, period, in his history. So we are a constitutional republic, and that's the difference. That means constitutional on the land. We are on the land. We use common law. We use that's God's jurisdiction. We don't use maritime law in the bankruptcies. That's why we've been in the maritime law, as I've talked about. This is all stuff that the government hasn't been telling you. This whole thing about, oh, Hunter Biden's going to be indicted doesn't matter. He'll be pardoned right away. So it's our job is to start getting these. We have to start organizing. I'm not saying we have to do it peacefully. We have to organize. We have to start coming together and start to push this stuff. That's why you have to educate yourself, because if you don't understand the history of what's going on, looking at the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, it's you'll learn that this stuff has been manipulated so bad, and that since Abraham Lincoln's time, we shouldn't have had a government. So, and that's the unfortunate part. That's where the whole executive orders come into play. That's why they're doing everything. We've been in since literally since the military's been enacted in 1775, the Army. We've been in a state of war, or a state of emergency since then. So that's the reason why these EOs come in. They're so powerful, and Senate doesn't, and Congress doesn't have to get involved and send people to war. Men and women, plus the United States, not the United States for America, it's the United States corporation in DC. Difference is the military industrial arm of the three-headed monster. So the Vatican, London, United States. So it's unfortunate, but it's true. I mean, the Vatican they own all rights and souls to all on earth, and they can dictate anything. So it's crazy when you learn these things. Supposedly, that's what they're saying. But also in London, they're another part of this situation. So I mean, it's crazy when you look at these things. Even the red, white, and blue. Something I've been educating too is the white stars on our flag. They're supposed to be blue. The white stars also is that tells you who's in charge of this government, or these flags. So the white star is the White Star Freemason, the Freemasonic White Star conglomerate, or whatever you want to call them, or sect of the Freemasons. That's who's in charge of the state of Texas. That's who's in charge of the United States. United States. So, and that war flag. So, just an FYI, I start looking at this stuff. It's crazy. It'll tell you who's what. I mean, and who's in charge of what. So, why do you think there's so many flags that have red, white, and blue? Literally, look at them all. They're all over the place, and they're all owned by the crown. So that's where it all boils down to from that point on. So I'm gonna jump off my soapbox now, and I'm gonna see about getting some started on some ratings. Let's see here. Happy full moon lunar eclipse. Yeah, it is. It's Portal Friday. At the end of this, I think we're gonna try, since it is the lunar eclipse tonight. We should all get together tonight at the end of this. We should put the energy out for a change, because you on a full moon, that's completion of something and the renewal of these energies. Also, the eclipse is very strong, so I feel like um, another thing that we can do is we can put energy out to change, continue to push the timeline forward quicker. Like it's already done. We want to project it as it's already done and it's been successful. And I feel like that's what's coming, and with what I've been getting a lot lately with my visions, and things like it's crazy. Like I've been getting things popped in my head, and then it happens. So that's the amazing part is it's all about building these muscles and things. And I know all of you have these same gifts. You just have to trust yourself. So first one that's on my list. Any I missed, just took off my boxing gloves, calming down with this live. Thank you, Soldier Light. Yeah. I used to box too, Moonchild and me. I boxed in the Army. One of the hardest things I ever did was boxing. So we had a boxing coach and we had a conditioning coach. And that little conditioning coach was skinny. We run 10 miles a day. You think you're in shape? You go into a boxing ring and do a 3-minute round? Whew, smoked. Plus taking punches and kicks. I also teach Taekwondo. I'm a master in Taekwondo, believe it or not. And I used to teach that stuff. Not to jump on my own soapbox, but I was pretty good in these things that I've done. I feel like those are natural gifts that God has given me. I'd rather be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. And that's always been the thing for me. I don't like to fight, but I always have. I've always been a fighter. And I feel like a lot of you are that way too. I'd rather things be peaceful. You mind your business. I mind my business. We high five each other if need be and say hello, smile, and call it a day. But if you push the wrong button, if I have to defend myself or my family, it's going to be a bad day for you. So I know it sounds 3D thinking, but that's just a made up term as well. 3D, 4D, 5D. That's just no. So because you travel between dimensions all the time, all the time. So we're going to move from 3D all of a sudden to 4D, and you're going to go from 4D all the way to 5D. Nope, doesn't work that way. I feel like we travel. I've been in the darkness, in the in the black, so I feel like I've traveled all the way, and I've seen the kingdom of heaven. And I feel, or the stairway to heaven. So I feel like you can travel. You travel as high as your energy is allowed at the time, and when God allows you. And I feel like there's a purpose why we travel up, and we also travel down because we have to learn those even in our sleep. We're always astral traveling, and I travel a lot. And I feel like those who can sense the astral travel or have had those experiences, I feel like there's something in you that is you figured out the code of the matrix of how to maneuver it through it. Not all the time, but I feel like that's something that you have the ability to do. So that's kind of what I'm getting at here. Let's see here what we got for readings. Mr. Dennis, give your cups. How will my second book do in sales? Well, let's find out, my friend. So thank you guys for tuning in. Oh, we got that lucky 33. All right. That's what I'm talking about. And by the way, numbers are good. So people are like, oh man, 666 is bad, and 3 to 33 is bad, and 322 is bad. 51 is bad. Well, actually, you look along, it's not bad, but as bad as you use those numbers. We had an incident on 5/1, May 1st. I was waiting for something to happen, and guess where it happened? In the state of Illinois. There was like 40 some cars piled up, a lot of fatalities because of a dust storm from the farmers. No, I saw that. I've been around these areas for all my life, and the amount of dirt that was popped up, and it was like a blackout. You couldn't see anything. That for sure was man-made. And now that I find out, and it was on the 36th parallel, so there's something to where that happened. So there was something along that line where there's this plan. These things are planned. That's a false flag. People died. There's a lot of accidents. Another thing, the reason why they put the construction zones up, besides filtering you like roaches and ants, how they want you to travel, it's also to upset you, to make you mad. Think about how much anger there is when people travel back and forth to work and they're stuck in traffic, and because they funnel everybody the same way, and all of a sudden there's traffic, there's construction that makes it worse. Think about how many angry people there are on the roads. They suck that energy from you because your anger is so low. So there's a reason to this stuff, and it's not just some random thing of why the way that things are. So that's why when we go to anti-gravity, they won't be able to tell you, oh, you can travel this road or that road. You can go anywhere you want, and it's going to be beautiful. All right, let's see how your second book will do, sir. Let's see. I think you're going to do very well. I got the Six of Pentacles. So the Six of Pentacles is telling me there's going to be something exchanged. So it tells me that the information that's going to be given out is a tangible. So it tells me that you're going to have something coming back financially that's very tangible. It tells me though that I feel that the divine is going to be very generous with this, and my nose is itching really a lot. Then I have the Eight of Wands. So the Eight of Wands tells me the information that's going to flow. So I feel like you're going to have it's going to go. I feel like it's going to take off quickly, and I feel like this is something that has been manifested with the words that you have. The hangman, though, tells me that um, there may be some maybe there was delays of putting this out is what I'm getting. I don't know, have you delayed putting this out, or have you been thinking about this? Because I feel like this is, or maybe you're bringing a new perspective to something that's already been put out, is what I'm kinda getting. But I have the full card, so it tells me that this is good, just gonna help take, this information is gonna move forward in a new way. And I feel like this is a good opportunity for you. So it tells me they want you to have trust. This is blind faith for you. I feel like that was part of the delay possibly of writing this or putting it out, was for that reason. The magician card. So it tells me that you have great skill. So it tells me this is a creative action for you. Um, and I feel like this is something you've been manifesting. It tells me they want you to remain confident that it's going to be successful. You've already put this information out. And the Wheel of Fortune. So it tells me it's going to do very well. It's a turning point for you. And I feel like this is inevitable. And I feel with the inevitability, this is a karmic thing for you. And I feel like that's the reason why this is going to be good. So I don't know if this, with the Hangman, if this was something you're bringing to the table that's a new perspective that you've been holding on to. And I feel like because of your awakening, this is something that is a karmic completion for you. It was inevitable to happen, and it is a turning point. And I have the Four of Wands holding up my reading. So it tells me joy, celebration by a community. So people or beautiful men and women who read this, I feel like they're going to enjoy it, and it's going to be celebratory for them as well as yourself. So it looks like beautiful, beautiful things are coming for you, Dennis. So that spirit is leading you directly to that is great. So hope they resonate with you, and thank you for the super chat. Hi, Jason. Is there a change of residence for me in the summer? Well, let's find out. Hmm. Is there a change, or can there be a change of residence for Muse at the summertime on the calendar as we know it? Yes, I feel like there's going to be some type of financial opportunity for you in this, and I feel like this is something that this is a desire of yours, and you've been manifesting this. I have the Ten of Pentacles after that, so it's tangible. This tells me for sure. And this is going to be very good for your family. I feel like money is involved. This opportunity is going to bring you more abundance, and I also feel long-term success in this opportunity. And I feel like this is something for your security, and for your family as well. I have the I have the I have the Four of Pentacles, which is security, as I just mentioned. It tells me a good investment. So it tells me that this is something that you've been doing, or you've been working towards. I have the death card though, so it tells me that you are going. You're coming to an end of something. So it tells me with the death card that this is so maybe where you are living now will come to an end, and then you're gonna keep moving forward into a new beginning because it's something that happened. This is a transformation cycle for you. I have the Six of Swords, so you will be moving for sure. So I feel like this is something that is meant to happen for you. You're going to leave behind the old, as I mentioned, the baggage that you also were leaving behind. So it tells me this is an opportunity. You're moving out of troubled waters. Then I have the Ten of Cups. So two tens in this reading is amazing. So it tells me family. Your family is going to enjoy this. You're going to enjoy this. Is something the divine is stepping in with. You're telling me harmony. Your wish will come true. The fruits of your labor. And it tells me this. It's going to bring a lot of. They will be fulfilled. Is what I'm getting. It also is going to bring a lot of happiness and completion for your family. So um, I have the Seven of Pentacles, so it tells me long-term success for you. The seeds have been well planted. Okay, also tells me like this is something you've been working on for some time. So it tells me we'll be successful in the long term for sure. So hope that resonated with you, Muse, and thank you for the super chat. Did the CIA classify a book called "The Adam and Eve Story" by Chan Thomas? That's the first question. Did the CIA classify? Classify a book called The Adam and Eve Story by Jan Thomas. First card I pulled was the Three of Pentacles, so yes. And this was something that was a collaborative effort. So I feel like it was a team of something did because they didn't want people to learn. So it tells me the Five of Swords next. So it was to create conflict. So it tells me there was some conflict with it. So whoever was trying to get this out was defeated, is what I get. There was a theft of this book. Then I had the Five of Wands. So it tells me there's a lot of obstacles, a lot of competition and strife and tension regarding this. So I feel like there was a lot of fighting with this because it brought progress with the Two of Wands. This is something that was going to be presented for the world. Also tells me like this was something discovering. This was going to help others discover maybe some truths about something that was going on. I have the Knight of Cups, so it was something that they did. It was to present a message, but it also tells me like this Chan Thomas was following his heart as the messenger. But justice card, so there is gonna be justice in the future regarding this. It tells me this is something that's, a cause and effect. So what happens is that this will come to pass, and it will bring clarity for others. And also it tells me, like, this is gonna be, this book or what information is coming in the future is divine, and it will bring balance, back to, maybe and some clarity is what I'm getting, and some truths so that have been held and hidden back from us. And the Emperor's card, so yes, and this is I feel like we're gonna learn about the connection to us. I feel like parenting, I feel like there's something involved with that, possibly, and I also feel like there's it's gonna be good in the future. It's we're going to learn a lot from it, and I feel like this is something that's happened. And I have the Six of Cups holding up my reading. So regarding when they were young, we were young, and when everything was young, I feel like this was something that will be discussed. There's a lot missing from the books as we know them now. So yes, very much so. For the first question, was the version they later released totally changed? Yes, I get that, very much so. So hopefully that answered your second question. So I keep getting that that's what it was. So the swords are there was a lot of disagreements. There was a lot of things that went out. So it tells me there was a lot of obstacles and things that happened that were that happened. So it tells me that that was exactly right. Whoever won, there was a defeat, and whoever won. 19184. Sorry, getting a call. But whoever won that situation is who put the information out. So there was some backstabbing and some betrayal for that for sure. So it tells me yes that there is some good to this Chan Thomas, and that's the reason why the CIA took it over. And there was a lot of stuff that happened because of that. So hopefully that answered your question, DHP, and thank you for the super chat. Does Spirit have a message for me, Lori? I'm going to use my ancestor cards. I haven't been using them as much. First card I have is the White Witch. So the White Witch tells me that's beautiful. That's white light. They says they want you to be the light. Continue to shine. That's what they're telling me. Even when things are kind of down, or you feel others are dragging your energy down. That's what we talk about all the time. But Spirit is really telling you like this. They want you to be the light. Then I have the Shaolin Master. So it tells me be the light, shine your light, but also to be graceful in your movement. So the actions you take, that tells me be just diplomatic. Also, it tells me that what they want you to do is to understand or understand what you're going to speak of and how you present your message before you present it. Has a long way for spreading your light so others don't shut off your energy. Then I have the protection guardian. So it tells me that there's some things that you have to let down as well. You have your shield up. So it tells me that there's some defensive energy around you, so or about yourself. So I feel maybe you don't shine your light as much because of the defensive things that you're I feel like maybe concerned about what others may think, what they say or feel. Where you feel that's what I kind of feel like there's some type of block up that you need to kind of let down and start to process things inside a little bit more and you'll be able to maneuver very well with the situation as you spread your truth and your light. Then I have the mountains. So the mountains I just mentioned, standing your ground. So it also tells me though to find your rooting, be confident in what you're doing. And no matter what, stand in your truth. That's what that tells me. Be rooted, be confident. And then you can still spread your light. You can still, present these things to others. No matter what that looks like, you'll be able to maneuver that. But it tells me though that you can be strong and confident and rooted, but not be defensive. That's what they're telling me to let that go. Then I have the stag. So it tells me you have to trust yourself. You don't trust yourself enough. And I feel like this is what they're telling me the most is at times how you navigate maybe some messages you receive, maybe some things that you get or your feelings. I feel like this is something that you are it's you need to trust what you're getting. Trust. They're telling me, "Trust yourself, be confident, stay grounded." That's what they're telling me because you can spread that light when you're grounded, you spread your message easier. When you're not grounded, your message sometimes falls on deaf ears because you're not vibrating and you're not at a strong foundation to move forward. It also tells me, though, that this is it's time for you to thrive. They're telling me that this is something you're gonna grow into, you're starting to learn, but once you drop this shield, you're gonna really thrive, I feel. And then I have the shaman. So they're telling me with the shaman, you're very well protected. Also tells me though that you're this is something that you have to go through. That the divine is interacting with you. They're protecting you. So they want you to trust that you're loved, you're protected, and the things that you're doing are meant to be. And the summertime. So by this summer, I feel you're going to see a big expansion for your abilities. I feel like you're going to see some breakthroughs. Also tells me that there's success and joy coming into your life. Also tells me though happiness. But that tells me though that there has to be some trust. You have to trust yourself. You have to find that joy in your heart again. A lot of us, including myself, um, a lot of us don't even really know what happiness really is. We haven't had the opportunity to go just do whatever we wanted when we wanted, just to see if we even like to do something, what we're good at besides just what the hamster wheel has put us on. So a lot of us are learning, like even myself, I can honestly speak. I don't know, like there's not something I can just think off the top of my head. I really love doing that. I absolutely love doing this. I can do it every day. And that's something that I still have to work through. And I almost feel like for me though that I've already been there, done that many times, and that's why I feel like I've kind of experienced a lot of these things. So I feel like overall, I just enjoy others, and I feel like that's what they're telling me they want you to do. That comes back to shining your light with the summer card also is be the light. So your light is shining through. You dim your own light because you have that guard up. Because once again, the energy we put out is the energy we receive. Even if somebody says things that we don't agree with, upset us, that's okay. You can still reciprocate that energy back with healing and love, even when it's hard. But we do have our 3D moments, we all, or whatever you want to call it, our moments where we kind of let maybe our emotions get the best of us at times, and that's understandable. That's part of your growth and your learning process. So the mirror guardian is holding in my whole reading. So it tells me like this is time for you to reflect. Okay, this is reflection time, and I feel it's a reflection time for a lot of us. And I feel like this is something that you're growing. all of us are growing from. And I feel like this is something that you're going to grow into by the summertime. This is your expansion part process. So stay with it, Lori. Release these things, the defensive energy, and all will be well. I hope that resonates with you, and thank you for the super chat. Was the Montauk project relating to time traveling real? Are the future worlds discovered in this program? Other worlds or possible futures of this world? Well, let's just see what Spirit gives you about the Montauk project, and that'll probably answer most of the question. Montauk, have you heard of the Montauk project? What can you tell me about it? Is it real? And what can you tell me about it? Is it real? And what can you tell me? First card I have is the World card. It's real, and it's about traveling between worlds or between dimensions. It's arriving. It's coming and going in completion. The Two of Swords, though, tells me that there's some decisions that were made. So it tells me that this has also been put on a hold. So whatever this, I feel the story, maybe there's some decisions that were made about what to put in there. There's some things they avoided telling people in this book is what I'm getting. I have the Nine of Wands. The reason why they did that is because they were afraid, I feel. So with the Nine of Wands, so whatever this information was, I also feel like it's very well protected. The real version of this, I feel like this is something that is been put out because I feel it would test a lot of people's faith. Is the reason why that this information. That's why there were some things that I feel were left out or were held back and not put out because of the what it would do to people's faith. But the justice card tells me that once again, this is a yes, that it's a real. But also tells me that this there is truth in this. And there will be some clarity coming out in the future regarding this. And I feel like this is the energy that is involved with this. I feel like is gonna we're gonna find out is meant to come out. This information is meant to. It's going to, for sure. The Three of Pentacles. So they're working on this. So it tells me, or this was a collaborative effort on how this book was made. So this tells me there was a team of them that were working on this situation and building it. And this is implementing this tech or whatever this is that's involved. There's a lot of collaboration. The Page of Pentacles, this is a yes, and it does. It's for sure. It's a manifestation, but there's a lot of financial. This was something that was done financially, and I feel like it was very, very profitable. But there's going to be something coming that's going to be there's going to be development coming in the future, is what I'm getting. And the Empress card. So yeah, this is a true story. So the World was the first card I pulled, and then the Empress card. So I feel like you can shoot through portals to other worlds. I also feel like other dimensions, but I also feel in the future this is going to be accomplished in the public. So I feel like accomplishment. I feel like for all nurturing. I feel like all will be able to accomplish this, and this is going to be a part of our evolution and our growth in the future. The Death card tells me holding this up, so I don't know if this um, it's going to be a transformation. So it tells me the ending of something, moving into something new. So it also tells me like when you leave one, the death card, you may be leaving one dimension or one world and you go to another. So it's a transformation. It's a metamorphosis, like weaving through, and it's part of the progress as I mentioned. So I feel that there's some information is been held back or wasn't put out or it's still kind of in limbo because of the situation that's being held it's very secured. So whatever this information is it's secured. It's surrounded by things that are to protect it. It also tells me because it will affect people's faith that this stuff is possible. So it tells me like that's what the others who don't want it out there is because it's going to affect how people view religion in this situation is why I feel like this is what's going on with it. So hope that resonated with DHP and thank you for the super chat. Are there other planets in our solar system that are vibrating higher than Earth? Let's find out. I'm going to use my angel cards. See what we get. There are planets in our solar system that are vibrating at a frequency of Earth. So I got King of Air, King of Swords. There is some truth to that. So it tells me yes. So it also tells me, I have the star card next. So when you're asking about other solar system, the star card comes out. So it tells me yes. Also tells me maybe where there's a lot of higher frequency beings is what I'm getting is why it vibrates at a higher rate. I have the Queen of Earth or the Queen of Pentacles, so yes, very much so. So it also tells me that this is we will understand this. It'll be more it's practical for that to happen for their energy fields is what it is. But we're going to understand this. And then the chariot card. So yes, tells me the chariot. So it tells me motion, movement, tells me progress. This is something that they are vibrating. And I also feel like these vibrationals upper they can travel at that point. I feel like they travel a lot with the chariot card. And the Emperor card, that's my God card. That's what I've been getting with the Emperor is God. That's all I call in now. I don't call in the dragons. I don't call in archangels. I ask for archangel protection, but I don't call them in the channel. I only call in God, Yeshua, my higher self, and the Holy Spirit. Those are the only energies I've been calling in lately. And I feel like I've been getting the Emperor card a lot. So it tells me the Emperor card tells me, yes, God created it this way. Also tells me that there's structure to this. There's a reason for these things. God is saying, I feel like to keep things kind of in alignment based on what He's looking for. And it also tells me like long term, there's organization to this, and I feel like it helps make the whole solar system kind of vibrate at the frequencies it needs. And I feel like the Two of Cups, or the Two of Water. So yes, tells me this is something that's these higher frequency areas that I feel like the energies are very well connected with the inhabitants or the energies that are associated with those. Very much so. So I feel like these are positives. This is a positive reason for this situation. And the Magician card holding up my reading tells me that these higher energies are very good at manifesting. It's something that God created. It also tells me though that there's a lot of skill and a lot of knowledge and creativity, or creative energy and knowledge that these higher frequency energy planets or solar and the solar system are working. It's all for a purpose to keep things in alignment is what I'm getting, things in balance. So hope that resonated with you, Dennis, and thank you for the chat. I was told that I placed an etheric shield in my forehead and that now I am ready to remove it. How do I do this? When will I be free of it? Interesting. Let's see. Etheric shield in a forehead. So I have the full card. So it tells me there was something done, but I feel in the past, I mean, if there's some possibilities, there's a possibility that this is exactly what happened to you. And I have the Emperor card. It tells me like control, something that's there is regarding control there. I also feel like um, this you're going to overcome this. The Emperor card is my God card. So I have the Queen of Swords, so I feel like energy-wise, you're able to it tells me the Queen of Swords, that's your energy. So, it tells me the center of the reading that you're ready for that. So, it tells me your energetic boundary, you have the power. You just have to stand strong and firm in your power. So, it tells me independent. You're gonna be independent of it. So, it also tells me that your energy field, it's expanding. So, it tells me you have to watch out, as I mentioned in previous videos, about what you allow into your energetic field and what you put out. So it tells me that's exactly, but you're going to be clear-minded. So it tells me removal if this is in your brain. The 10 of Wands, so it tells me there's a lot of hard work, but there's something you need to, you're holding on to it. So it tells me you have the energy to release it. You're just holding on to it. You need to let it go. So it tells me that your burden, you're going to come to completion with this burden. Four of Cups, you're gonna do it while you meditate. You're gonna do it because I feel it also tells me you're gonna disconnect from whatever's here. So it tells me though while you're meditating or while your mind is quiet and you're focused on it, they're telling me that's when you're gonna do it. The 7 of Cups, so it tells me, yes, so when you're meditating or your eyes are closed, my face is tingling right now, so it tells me right here is where I'm feeling it. So it tells me that you are going to release this, and you're gonna get visions after that. So when you remove this, I feel visions will start to flow to you, and it's while you're daydreaming or in a state of meditation is what I'm getting. So the Page of Cups. Page of Cups tells me you have the opportunity. It's on you. You've always had this ability since you've been young. So it tells me that you're going to release it. You're going to have a happy surprise and releasing of this in your future. So it tells me you already you are the to be creative and on your energy. So it tells me to open up. There's an opportunity here for you to be very creative, and be very diligent on what you want. So it tells me you have all the skills that you've been young since the Fool card in your past tells me this journey, there was a reason why this happened, this journey, and it was to test your tests of faith. And that's what they're telling me. But they're telling me this is something coming new. Eight of Swords. Yep, exactly right. So a prisoner of your own mind. So it tells me holding yourself back. This is part of your expansion. You need to let go of those negative thoughts, release this stuff. You've been holding yourself back. And the Ace of Wands says, once you do that, victory. It tells me a new opportunity, inspiration. It tells me you're going to open up things, and a new development will happen. You'll start to develop new gifts, new things, and get visions. The King of Wands tells me that you're very well protected, and also that you're going to overcome this obstacle. And it tells me that to continue to focus on that and be practical, put it into practice and get out of your own way because you've had this ability since you've been younger. So hope that resonated, Lisa. Thank you for the super chat. Is Chat GPT Diablo trolling us? I don't know. I don't even know who that is. GPT is Chat GPT trolling us. I got the Empress card. That's a yes. The Temperance card is yes. I'm not even going to pull anymore. So I feel whoever this Chat GPT Diablo is trolling. So I don't know if he's getting paid or whether this person is getting paid or whatever the situation is. But I have the Eight of Cups, so it tells me that's going to be done. So you're going to walk away from this here. And the Nine of Pentacles. Yep. So I feel like, yeah, he's going to be rewarded for the trolling from something, whatever the situation is. So, and they've been doing this for a long time, Seven of Pentacles. So I feel like this is something that this individual, whoever this person is, has been doing it for a while in other places, not just this one. So I don't even know who this is, but I hope it resonates, PHP. And thank you for the super chat. Will there be affordable flying cars that become available to the public in the next 5 years? That's funny. I was just talking about anti-gravity earlier. No coincidences. Will there be affordable flying cars for all of us in the next 5 years on the calendar as we know it? Right. Ooh, interesting. I got the devil card, but it was upside down. I usually don't read upside down, but that one came in upside down. And then I have the Knight of Swords. So the Knight of Swords tells me I feel like military involvement or somebody's fighting behind the scenes. They're taking action. So it tells me that the devil in the past had all this information and they've been holding on to it. But it tells me this is the what happened with the battle tells me this is something that's defending the beliefs, the good versus evil. So it tells me that there's going to be some change to this stuff moving forward. The moon card. So there's going to be what I feel with the moon card. There's a lot of mystery involved around this. What they're telling me, but it also tells me like there's fear. There's fear for some of this stuff. I don't know if it's fear from the dark or fear from the ones who've been controlling this because I feel they've been controlling things. Then I have the King of Pentacles. So it tells me, yes, an investment. It also tells me it's going to be profitable. It also tells me it's going to be there's going to be something generous coming to us, and prosperity is coming in the future. And then I have the Sun card. So it tells me, yes, joy, happiness, celebration, success. So it tells me whatever happened in the past is already successful. So the Ten of Pentacles is telling me we're going to be wealthy enough. This isn't going to be an issue. So it tells me like with the Ten of Pentacles, that's a legacy for future generations. At the end, things that are going to be we're going to be secure. I feel in the next 5 years is what we're going with between the Sun and the Ten of Pentacles. So it tells me we're going to have enough money to be able to do this thing, to have these affordable flying cars, flying automobiles in the future. So it looks like that's where it's going in the next 5 years for sure. Hope that resonates, Dennis. Thank you for the super chat. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Okay, no more super chats because that's a lot. No more super chats, guys. Super stickers are always appreciated. I got to find out where I left off. My chat's been all weird. What is going on here, man? All right. I just got word of a guy who tried shape shifting, but it came out wrong to the point he needed to be hospitalized. Was the problem in the lack of details? Huh. Interesting. I got to know. It wasn't because of the lack of the details. It's because this person's energy wasn't in the right place to be able to do it. Because I got ill health from it. I got lost. I got the 7 of cups, so it tells me the illusion of the changing of it. Also tells me, like, the choices he made, that this is what caused it. He had worry about the situation. Page of Cups. So it tells me, like, um, this what how he I feel like the energy that he was exchanging at the time wasn't at the ability that it needed to be, or wasn't at the vibrational level that it needed to be because, something happened. That's what I'm getting for him. And then I have the Tower card. So it tells me, like, he had to suddenly release this transformation. So it tells me it was very disruptive in this energy that I have. He had to release whatever was going on. I have the Queen of Pentacles, so it tells me he had to be nurtured after that. So it did. That story is working, but it tells me though the practice of what he's doing, how he's been doing it, tells me he wasn't ready for what he was doing. The King of Swords. So it tells me though with the King of Swords, like, um, he was thinking there were too many worries and thoughts in his mind at the time when his energy wasn't focused enough to be able to do it and have the clarity. 7 of Pentacles, so it tells me that he's gonna have long-term, effects from this. So it tells me he's been trying to work on this for some time now. He's been trying to manifest this, and he hasn't been able to. So it tells me, like, it has nothing to do with your lack of details. Also tells me that, I don't feel you can get trapped in these exercises. So it tells me you have the power to create, you have the power to sever, but it's all on your intention. So it tells me he wasn't in a good state of mind at the time, in a good energy place when he started. So it tells me he was making progress. You do travel. I feel like the energy is exchanging and traveling with the Two of Wands holding up my reading. So it tells me that there has to be preparation for this, has to be planned and prepared. It's not just something that they just do because their energy has to be at a certain level to be able to do it. And he wasn't in that place. So he's going to have long term effects from that issue, as what I'm getting, DHB. So hope that resonates with you. And thank you for the chat. Can I get a general reading? Sure can. Just a general reading. I got the moon card first. So it tells me though you're gonna start getting, if you haven't already, you're gonna start getting premonitions, okay? So it tells me though your subconscious is awakening. It also tells me though that but there is some a little bit of anxiety with some of these things that you may be experiencing, but I feel like you're gonna start to dream more if you haven't already. I feel like you're gonna start to get these things in your mind. King of Pentacles also tells me though that keep investing in yourself. The investments made in your past, it tells me it's gonna be very, very good for you. You're gonna be very prosperous moving forward. I also feel like, abundance coming, but also they want you to remain disciplined in the things that you've been doing. So it tells me you're growing your subconscious and your abilities. So they want you to keep investing in that as well. Then I have the Sun card. So the Sun card tells me joy, happiness. Right now, I feel they also want you to do all is well. So I feel like this is a rebirth for you. You're growing. This is part of your evolution. You're going to be celebration and success for you as you move forward. Then I have the Empress card. So it tells me abundance. It tells me this is part of your growth, part of your evolution. It also tells me very good parenting, nurturing, and taking care of yourself and others. So it tells me you're going to be able to do that. You're going to have great accomplishment, is what they're telling me. Then I have the Temperance card, my friend. So it tells me that you're very divinely protected. I feel angelic very much so with you, and your energy and what you've been watching over. So it tells me they want to let you know that your cup is going to be full. You're going to start to fill your cup up, and that's what they've been doing. But it's in divine timing. He also says remain calm and hopeful during this, and it's a very good omen for you. You're finding meaning in your life as you progress. Then I have the Ten of Cups, my friend. Celebration, divine love with the divine and your family. Completion, fulfillment tells me satisfaction. All is well. Tells me also that the fruits of your labor are going to pay off for you and your family. Then I have the Ace of Swords, so it tells me victory, mental clarity on some of these things that you may have had questions about. So it tells me that you're moving along great, and that you're having breakthroughs, and you will continue to have breakthroughs. Is the reason why that this is part of your expansion. So they're saying keep standing in your truth, keep writing because swords are thoughts and words. Keep using your thoughts, transfer them to words, and the actions that you take are going to lead to victory for you. So hopefully that resonated with you, Dennis. And thank you for the super chat. I feel there are, but I'm going to find out. Are there people here today that are able to physically time travel to any time and place without the need of tech or equipment? Make it 8 of Wands. So yes, there are travelers, and they're able to manifest quickly. So it tells me that they travel, air travel, or dimensional travel. It tells me that there's something that they are able to do quickly. But I have the Nine of Swords, so it tells me though that they do this, but it does cause a lot of um, anxiety. Also tell me the things that they see when they do travel, they see a lot of horrible things, I feel like this also causes some trauma to them, and they see some despair, I feel like time travel. And the Hierophant, so it tells me the High Priest has divine knowledge and wisdom, and I feel like this is something that um they check society or they move, they jump around, and they're seeing how things are changing. And they also, I feel like this is something that this is a tradition of theirs. They've always been able to do this, is what I get. So I get the Lovers card deck. So Lovers card tells me like this is something that their higher self. That's how they jump. So two energies into one. So they jump with their higher self. Is what I'm getting. And I feel like this is something that they've always been able to do. So I feel very much so like this is something that was God given out of love, and they're able to do that for sure. I have the Six of Wands next, so yes, movement, success, victory. I feel like this is going to be brought out into the public in the future as well. That there are some that can do, but it also is based on your confidence level. So this tells me it has to progress for this man or woman to be able to do this and do it confidently. They're telling me, and the Fool, they travel for sure. So it tells me it's faith. So they travel all over. They're the travelers. They go to look at things for sure. The opportunity comes. It's an adventure. I have the Three of Wands next. Yes, tells me it's part of their expansion. They travel all over the world and in many dimensions, actually. This is something they have a foresight. They foresee things, is what I'm getting. So I feel like this was something that they do to help the consciousness expand of not only themselves but others around them. Is what I'm getting. The Two of Pentacles holding up my reading, so it's they have to adapt. So it tells me time management. It's how they do it. They have to adapt because the energy is always kind of fluctuating. So it's something they're learning to adapt to. So I absolutely that's something that is for sure real, very strongly. So hope that resonated. Thank you for the chat. What message the spirit has for me? Thank you, Jason. Any like dragons? All right, my sunshine. Let's turn that. Interesting. So I got the Eight of Wands for you as well. So it tells me the first thing that's coming up is I feel things are starting to move along for you. So if there's a stalemate, anything that was going on, your news is going to flow to you. I also feel like traveling. I feel like there's some travel that's coming up in your future, and you're going to start to see things move along. But I have the other sword too. So sometimes it tells me that you are a sunshine, that you are a prisoner of your own mind at times. It tells me you feel imprisoned, you feel trapped, or feel trapped by things. But it tells me though that this is something that's coming, negative thoughts. And I feel the Ace of Wands, so you're going to have the breakthrough. Okay, so it tells me you have to release this stuff. But it tells me this is part of your growth. You're going to have a new opportunity. You're going to have many opportunities to do this. Limitless potential. I feel like you're going to have an urge to travel if you haven't already, and an urge to create things. Then I have the star card. So the star card tells me to remain hopeful. Once again, that's a calming for me. So it tells me your cup has been emptied, tells me your cup will start to be filled. It also tells me things you're being illuminated right now, so there's a spotlight on you for a reason. But it's a good reason, even though if it feels hard or to do whatever, but it's a good thing for you. It's a good outcome. I have the magician, so it tells me they want you to stay strong, stay confident. Tells me you're manifesting things, but you also have to stand stand firm in your rooting, and be confident. That's what it keeps telling me. Clarity is coming for you, but it also tells me that you have all the tools in your toolbox to make this happen. The Knight of Cups. So it tells me that follow your heart. That's what they're telling me. Continue to follow your heart. And there's a knight in shining armor in your future. It tells me like I don't know if maybe a proposal, something like that in your future is what I'm kind of getting. So it tells me that this is a good thing for you. Keep progressing. This is part of your growth. And the chariot. So there's going to be, this is inevitable. There's movement. Things are going to start to come to you more rapidly, as I mentioned. It tells me a departing of the old. It tells me travel. I see travel in your future quite a bit. I keep seeing travel. So it tells me departing of the old, new direction. Okay, but it also tells me this is a test of your willpower, what you're going to do and how you proceed. So it tells me with the, as I mentioned, releasing these doubts, these fears, all these things from your past is what I feel like you still kind of hold on to. You need to let it go. So it tells me that you control this situation. You control it. And I have the Ace of Swords holding up my whole reading. So it tells me breakthroughs for you. It tells me clarity. It tells me you're going to have a sharp mind again. So if you had some conflicts or maybe a lot of racing thoughts, you're going to have that clarity again. So it tells me release these things, stay on the course, and that you are manifesting your future based on the things that you are doing. The energy you're putting in as a magician is the energy that you're receiving back. So you have great skill, great knowledge, and continue to stay strong. And they're telling me that you're gonna make great progress. So hope that resonated with you are my sunshine. Thank you for you are my sunshine. Thank you for the super chat. All right. Yep. Can I get a better reading for June? You sure can. June. What is June? What is she? Let's check. Interesting. Now, one card I pull out is the devil card, but it's in reverse. That's the only card that's come out in reverse. Weird. That tells me that the devil's already lost, which is amazing. So it tells me though, for you and use in June, so far, I'm getting that you're releasing this energy, these things that you have kind of been you've been holding on to, have been attached to you, just from your past. Tells me that you're releasing them. You're just a part of your growth. You're controlling things. They're telling me this has been controlled. Okay, you're detaching from that. Then I have the Knight of Swords as well. So it tells me that because of the actions you've been taking. So it tells me you're defending your beliefs. It also tells me that you're becoming more sharp in your mind, and you're starting to have more clarity on things as you progress. So you're driven to succeed. You want things to succeed. That's why they're telling me. Then I have the Hermit card. So the Hermit card tells me that things are being brought to light for you. You're having an awakening. Okay, it tells me you're an old soul. Your old soul tells me your consciousness is expanding. Okay, Tells me that you're gonna blaze a path. You're blazing a path not only for yourself, but for others. You're a light in the darkness, okay? So it tells me that you're independent. They also want you to you're gonna find your inner calling. You're telling me you're going inside and want to continue to go inside more and to continue to search. 4 of Wands next. It tells me some type of get together, maybe a celebration in June, for you, or some type of a homecoming, or something that's joyous for you, I feel, in June. Then I have the Emperor card, which is my God card. So it tells me in the Emperor card that there's gonna be some truth, um, that also protective energy. I don't know if you're a parent. So it tells me like, or it tells me that this is that you're putting things into practice. Okay, it tells me that you're a leader, a leader of others, or people come to you for guidance and leadership. So it tells me that things are moving along for you. Okay, tells me that they want you to continue to stay disciplined and maintain control. That God is watching over you. It looks like that. And the Queen of Swords. So I feel what they're telling me for June is that you're going to have more clarity in June. Okay. So, and you're gonna have more direct communications. I feel spirit and God is gonna communicate with you more in June. I keep getting that energy exchange is growing. Your energetic field is growing. Tells me that this is something that needs that you're gonna be clear-minded in June. So, if you've been waiting for something or the situation, whatever this is, I feel for you, you're gonna have great clarity with it. They also want you to know that you are strong and confident, and they want you to maintain that ability. 10 of Wands tells me you've got a lot of hard work and burden on your plate. So it tells me that this is something you need to let go of. You're gonna complete this situation in the future. Then I have the strength card, but the strength card is upside down for me. So it tells me maybe that you're not fully open you have great inner strength, but you're not fully open to exchanging or receiving and giving love unconditionally at this point. So it tells me that there's self doubts. That's what I'm getting at. There's some self doubts possibly about things that are going on, and I feel like this is maybe some insecurities at time is what I'm kind of getting at. He has to be open to receiving and giving love unconditionally, even for yourself, giving yourself unconditional love. But it tells me you're gonna be making some plans. I don't know if you're traveling or this is something that even, if you don't already have plans, you will be making plans to travel, coming up. And I feel like there's some things that you're gonna make some decisions, or you are making some decisions as you go. But it also tells me that you're gonna leave home. I keep getting leaving home. So you are so it tells me to start making plans. If you haven't already start making them, it tells me this is something that is inevitable. It's supposed to happen as part of your progress. And the temperance card. So it tells me a good spiritual omen for you. Once again, stay calm, stay hopeful. Tells me in divine timing, the things that you've been concerned about are going to come to fruition for you. You just have to release the doubts. This self doubts is what I'm getting. The Four of Swords is holding in my reading. So maybe in June there's going to be some type of retreat for you, or some type of renewal, um, something along that line. I feel like there's going to be some rest involved in June for you. And I feel that rest in June will be very, very beneficial for you, um, with some of the hard work that you've gone through. So it tells me maybe something, sometimes something to relax there, I feel is what I'm getting, you. So I hope that resonated with you. Thank you for the super chat. Is the song on the nature of daylight, a great song for doing shadow work, releasing bad energy on the nature of daylight. This is some nature song to use to do energy work, release negative energies like yourself. So I feel the Fool card in the that tells me the first card I pull, like, you have blind faith in this. So it tells me that that's something that people want to believe. But I feel with the next card, the Nine of Swords, that's a no card. It tells me that there's energy involved that's not where it needs to be. I feel like there is a lot of despair. The energies are working around anxiety, fears, depression. I feel like this is something that has to do with it. But I have the Page of Wands, but it actually tells me, with the Page of Wands next, that that's a possibility. Yeah, you help travel. So it tells me is that as I pull more and I'm getting more, is that the Fool card tells me that there's an opportunity there, and it's a journey. So maybe it's sending and receiving energy. So it tells me that there is these energies that are around that you're releasing are there's fear, there's depression, there's anxieties, there's something involved in that. But it tells me that you set them free with that Page of Wands. It tells me like you have the potential, the limitless potential to do this. It also tells me like exploration. So I feel like more are going to explore these types of things. And I feel like there's going to be some things discovered regarding these abilities because you do set them free. But the Hanged Man though tells me though that look at things from a different perspective. This is also a sacrifice, a self-sacrifice of some sort that others are doing to release these energies. So it tells me that this is something that they're giving up for others. And this is something to do with change and release. So they're releasing something. This is changing energy. Seven of Cups. So it tells me choices, the choices that you're making. Also tells me that this is an opportunity. There's searching for a purpose. So I feel that the energies that are working with this is searching for a purpose. So the energy that's around is searching for something, and this is helping release that energy that has no purpose being around. The Two of Pentacles next tells me adapt. So it tells me decisions that are made. So the decision that this individual makes, this man or woman makes as they do this, it tells me this is something that they do and they have to adapt to the energies as they work with them. But the Three of Wands tells me yes, tells me progress, move them along, evolution, tells me growth. So it's part of their growth and that what they do. Once again, it comes back to self-sacrifice. This is something that other souls may have not agreed to do when they came here from God, and God gave that ability to certain souls, like other abilities for other souls. I feel like this is something they do as part of their growth and expansion in order to become closer to God. But it tells me that their wish will come true, contentment, and it tells me this is something that they will be able to do very well forward because it's something that was a gift from God. So the Nine of Cups. So holding up our whole reading. So hope that resonates. HP, thank you for us. Has a dark entity known as Santa Muerte, Holy Death, been defeated, or is it still roaming freely? Never even heard of that. Is that like Krampus, La Santa? I'm joking. Has a dark en 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 Santa Muerte, Holy Death, defeated. I got yes, so far. Got the Fool card, so yes, the journey happened, okay? So it tells me traveling, I have the Three of Cups next, so it tells me celebration. So, I mean, this has already been dealt with in happiness in the past. The Moon card tells me, oh, that this is, maybe there's fear regarding this situation. There's some allusion to this. But I have the King of Pentacles, yes, it tells me this has already been done. The king or God or one of his beautiful messengers or help move this along. So it tells me this has already been defeated. The king has already defeated this darkness. And I have a Sun card, joy, happiness, success, fulfillment. So it tells me it's something that was inevitable, a rebirth, and all is well. But I get the Chariot card, depart. This has already been departed. Victory has already happened. So the darkness has already been defeated. We're just being shown things so we can understand. So it tells me this has already happened in the past for sure. And this is bringing a new, this is bringing prosperity to the world as we know it. Is what I'm getting. So hopefully that resonated with the DHP Union. Thank you for the super chat. You didn't have to pay for that, Lady D. Love you, but you didn't have to pay. You already know that. I already told you that you pull cards from me. I almost hit you up earlier to pull some cards. I did call in the army. I sucked it up and drove on. Sucked it up and drove on. Weird. I don't know how some of my cards got flipped upside down. Only one or two at a time once in a while. Weird, because I don't read upside down. So something was telling me today the devil card came out twice upside down. So that's good. I like that. And of course, it's the lunar eclipse too. All right. First card I pull is the Empress. So you're evolving, okay? So it's telling me you're growing. This is something that you're growing, but also tells me you're taking action in your growth. That's the reason why you're growing. You're developing things, okay? But you're also going to accomplish. You're accomplishing a lot. So it tells me that you're able to help others. You're nurturing others, which is the reason why this is something that's happening. You have a good divine feminine energy, and this is something that is part of your growth. But I have the Death card, so maybe something from your past has come to an end, or it will, and you're going to be moving into something different, or this is part of your growth. So this is part of your change. It tells me this is inevitable. It's something that needs to happen. A transition. This is you're still transitioning. They're telling me towards what you need to do. Then I have the Hierophant. So it tells me that you have great wisdom, but also tells me though, that maybe you're going away from the traditional stuff that you've learned, traditional things, maybe your education, put into practice. I feel like that's changing. It also tells me there's some forgiveness that's happening. Where you also tells me forgiveness of yourself and forgiveness of others. They're telling me this is something you need to do. Then I have the Two of Cups. So it tells me somebody may be coming into your life. If you don't have somebody now, I feel like there's going to be some type of good energy around you. It tells me the Two of Cups, celebration, harmony. Also tells me two into one. So whatever energy that's around you that you're connected with, if you, I don't know if you're with somebody now, but it tells me that whoever this is, this person, if you're whoever you're around now, there's great energy between you. And it's meant to be. But I have the Eight of Swords, so it tells me the Eight of Swords is holding yourself back at times. So I feel with this situation is this is self-imposed. So I feel you doubt yourself a lot of times. I also feel like things that you're learning, this is you're a prisoner of your own mind once again. At the beginning, she holds herself back a lot of times, and it's you kind of shut yourself off. They're telling me you shut your energy off because of the doubts at times. But the Ace of Wands tells me that this is there's some new opportunities coming for you in your future. It tells me though that this is part of your growth. You're growing into something different. It also tells me that this is you've had some tests and your willpower is going to be tested, and it has been tested. But they're telling me though that there's something a new project in your future that you were going to do. Okay, there's going to be an opportunity coming down for you. The Nine of Swords, and I feel it's going to do with people who have trouble sleeping, something along that line, or helping people kind of overcome their fears, their doubts, their anxieties. I also feel with you though that you do have some nights like that where you can't sleep. You have sleepless nights. You may have nightmares at the time, but I feel you're going to help people with that. Maybe who feel helpless at times, or whatever situation you're kind of going to evolve even more into that. Tower Tower tells me, though, that there's some release that needs to happen for you. There's some, there's gonna be a revelation for you in the future, that things are gonna kinda come out and start to move as they need. The 6 of Cups. So I feel maybe in the future you're gonna help some children as well. So I feel like this is something you're gonna be doing. Um, keeps telling me childhood, maybe some of these traumas for children is something in your future because I see innocent joy helping children find their innocence and their joy and it tells me they also want you to do that as well. Find happy memories from your past to bring forward into the energy of your present is what they're telling me. And the King of Pentacles. So you're mastering these things. A print. So it tells me you're growing. You're growing. You're gaining your skills. You're educating yourself. This is part of your growth, and you will put them into motion. It's going to be. You're going to see. You're going to do this over and over and over. Is what they're telling me. You have been. You're mastering them over the years. So the Four of Swords is what I get next. So it tells me that there's going to be some type of. You also need to rest at times. Don't push it too hard. It also tells me maybe some recuperation. You help people recuperate from some of these traumas and some of these things that I feel. But it also tells me renewal is coming for you. This is something you need to do, and you've been going inside and waiting to continue to go inside and find that inner peace. So it tells me you're going to be financially secure with the Four of Pentacles in your future. But it also tells me that to there's some things you need to let go of as well for yourself. They're telling me there's something you're holding on to, maybe some scarcity mindset at times. Whatever the situation is, but there's something you just need to let go of the doubts. That's the Eight of Swords, prisoner of your own mind at times. You're holding on to something, that fear, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show as well. That was God's way of saying, "I'm giving you this. You can either believe and go or not." We talk about these things. That was my opportunity to escape, and I didn't. So that's what I feel like that's what God is mentioning for you as well. Escape from your own matrix, escape from your own mind and your own you we all put our own selves in these boxes at times and don't believe about the things that we're capable of because we are just been programmed to not be that way. So they're wanting to let you know that there's big things coming on the horizon for you. Keep growing, keep doing these things that you're doing, communicating and helping others heal. This is part of your growth and evolution as well. So I hope that resonates with Lady D, and thank you for the super chat. My old mama dog passed over 30 years ago. Has she come again to be with me and my current fur baby Annie? I've had Annie for about 10 years. Well, let's find out. Mama dog. That was your mama dog. Want to hear something funny? We used to have a dog that we got from another family who could take care of, and her name was Mama Dog. So good dog. And we gave it to one of our friends who was a truck driver who took her and was able to they were buddies. He took her in the truck with him, all that, so they were friends. So it's funny that the universe is pretty amazing when you see all these coincidences because they're not. The fact that you're asking about a mama dog, that's crazy. And we had a mama dog in our family. So Annie, okay. So I get 7 of Pentacles. So it tells me, like, yeah. So it tells me, I mean, it's usually a no card for me, but it's for long term success. And then I have the Ace of Cups. The reason why I'm saying that would be yes next is because the Ace of Cups. So it tells me, yes, out of love. It tells me that this is something that was brought to you. It's a gift from the divine. I also feel like out of love. So it was new. This is renewal, a new. The baby dog. I feel like this when they came back. And I also, and if you look at the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Cups has a dove going into the cup, so it tells me maybe that, and then the flowing of it. Because I have the Two of Wands next, so it tells me progress. Tells me yes. Tells me traveling. They've traveled to you is what I keep getting. But I had the 5 of Pentacles, so because of the ill health, so the loss, that's why that they traveled. And I feel with you though that it was, insecurities afterwards and your, ill health or your loss or how you felt, the energy, that's why they traveled. Because I have the Queen of Swords, there's truth to this. I feel like to help you become more clear-minded, and this energy is very good. Your energy is very connected, I feel, with that Queen of Swords. But I have the King of Swords, truth, clarity, there's truth there for sure. So they came here as an opportunity to help you with clarity. So I feel very much and the Knight of Swords, that's a traveling card. Action was taken. So yes, I feel it's defending. It's there to help defend you, help to progress you. This is for long term. So I feel like this is something for success for you long term. That this is something they've invested in to be part of your energy in the future moving forward. So absolutely, Tammy. That's it looks like Mama Dog is in there with you and Annie for sure. Hope that resonated. Thank you for the super chat, Irene. What does my next few months look like for me? Let's find out. Let's see. I'm gonna pull my angel cards. So the first card I get is the ego card. So to me, 15 usually though is the devil card, but doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It tells me there's some shadow work that needs to be done. Okay, so it tells me though that there's I don't know if you're focused on materialistic things or something along that line. Tell me there's some type of self-entrapment in your mind. It's kind of like the Eight of Swords card for me. And I feel like maybe there's some negative thoughts that you've had quite a bit. There's telling me there's some shadow work that needs to be done. There's some attachment you need to let go of. That's what they're letting you know. Then I have the High Priestess card. So tell me you need to listen to your intuition. I know you've been doing that, but it tells me you really need to do it. Have patience. So it tells me you need to trust yourself. If you're being divinely guided, um, they say also tell me to tell you to be careful, consider things before you act, is what I'm getting. Then I had the Knight of Fire. So it tells me, or the Knight of Wands, it tells me that there's something coming up for you. I feel like some type of event or something that's going to be moving along that it's going to start to make progress for you. And I feel like they want you to I keep getting think things through. The things that you're going through, think them through is what I keep getting. Then I have the two of air, so it tells me maybe there's some decision keeps telling me decisions. There's some decisions that you've been weighing on. Tells me there's gonna be some stalemate with the two of swords and the two of air. So it tells me that this is maybe almost avoidance. I don't know what's going on from your past, possibly, but maybe there's some avoidance in some of these things. They're telling me that at times maybe you almost pretend that there's not a problem, but you're trying to make sense of these things, but you will. Because I have the four of air, four of swords. So it tells me that they want you to take some time to yourself. It's time to rest that mind, that overactive mind of yours. And I feel like it also tells me with the Four of Swords, take some time before you make your decision. Whatever you've been weighing, like just think it through. That's what I keep telling me. I keep getting think it through. So tell me that I don't know if you meditate, that maybe that's something they would like you to do. I feel like when your mind is quiet and in alignment with your body and spirit, and that's what they're telling me. I feel like you'll get the most clarity and things will make sense for you. Then I have the Knight of Air. So whatever this is a Knight of a lot of swords in this. So it tells me that the Knight of Swords, so defending your beliefs, also tells me taking action. It also tells me things are going to start to pick up speed for you. The thoughts, the words, the actions, they're going to start to pick up speed. Okay, I feel like you're going to find a creative solution to this issue. It also tell me that once again, they want you to I keep getting review. Tell her to review her options. She has options to think. Then I have another 10 of air or 10 of swords. So it tells me, I don't know, this is something to do with relationship or feeling betrayed or something along that line. Something's going to come to an end, okay? And it tells me that there's an end of a difficult situation coming for you. Things are gonna get better after that. Because I have the Knight of Earth, so it tells me that stand strong, the fruits of your labor are coming. Also tells me that enjoy life, the little luxuries that you have in your life, continue to enjoy them. And also spending time alone at times, that's the quiet that mind is I'm getting, and I feel like you're gonna be successful. If it's something to do with finances or employment, I keep getting you're gonna be successful in that, okay? The Queen of Earth tells me it's holding up my reading that also make time for those around you, okay? Nurture yourself and nurture others, but also tells me that they want you to be practical. As I mentioned, evaluate, think things through before you take your actions. It also tells me that uh, deal with your challenges in a kind manner, not a combative one, I feel at times, and I feel like that's the biggest thing the Spirit's telling me is to think things through, but not overthink them. If you feel it in your heart, do it, but trust what you're doing and release these fears. Because I see a lot of thoughts and words in your mind, and ego gets in the way. So I don't know if it's a pride thing, or what the situation is, the winning at all costs at times. Something along that line, I feel like there's something you got to detach from in order to progress, and you will. But you just have to keep working at it, okay, Irene? So I hope that that resonated with you, and thank you for the super chat. Will we have cash when everything collapses? Will we have cash when everything collapses? I hope that's what you're asking. That's what I feel like that's what my last reading was for. I feel like it was something to do with finances or something that's something a lack of mindset. They're telling me that that's the fears. So let me see what we get. Will we have cash? As I was reading that deck, I'm going to stay with this deck for you. So renewal is the first card I pulled. So renewal. So it tells me things are being reevaluated, okay? They're being reviewed right now, and I feel like overall things are being evaluated and reviewed from the higher ups. They're watching how things go, but it tells me there's a favorable assessment coming for us. And it tells me that this a new direction, we're moving in a new direction with this. And then I have unity after that. So two major arcanas in the first pull. So it tells me with unity, like things are going to move along. Okay, so it tells me like there's traditional viewpoints are going to change or in methods. So things are going to be changing. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of spiritual connection to what we're going to be moving forward with. Okay, so they're telling me they're going to seek there. There's going to be others who are going to be a little more versed in some of these things. That's who we're going to go to. Not They're not going to be experts, but they're going to be others who are going to want to help, and that's who we're going to like-minded individuals who we're going to reach out to as we've been doing in the magician card. So it tells me you're ready. We're ready. So it tells me when it comes to this, you have the resources and the ability for this to manifest. So it tells me things are going to be magical for us moving forward. And that's three arcanas, major arcanas in a row. Then I have the six of fire. So things are going to be brought into the public. Okay. It tells me this is part of the progress and it's going to be victorious for us. Okay. So it says good news is on the way, is what I keep getting. Then I have the page of cup, a page of water. So it tells me something new is coming into your life. Okay, so it tells me a new phase. A new phase is I keep getting a phase, and I feel like not only that, I feel like intuition is going to grow. I feel like expansion of the mind is going to grow, and also feel the expansion of for the public of their finances. So I get very much so yes, and then the sun card happy outcome. So it tells me we will have cash when everything collapses. Things are going to move along. So it tells me that this is going to be successful. Stay confident. Start working towards this. Pull some stuff aside. Okay. So it tells me once again the eight of air. I'll get my reading. Eight of swords. A like prisoner of your own mind. holding yourself back, doubts. That tells me that's a big theme maybe for you, that there's a lack of mindset. That tells me that that's something that we need to change. We all need to kinda change that thought process. So hopefully that resonated with you, Irene. Thank you for the super chat. Well, the probate cases I'm handling be over soon. Find out. The star card, that's a yes. So things are gonna be tells me happy times, it tells me positive outcome. Okay, it tells me, you're on the right path, so things are progressing to remain hopeful and calm. And the Queen of Earth, so you're helping. So this tells me that you're putting things into practice, okay? Um, and you're dealing with challenges, they're telling me, and you're gonna overcome them, okay? When you're dealing with these challenges, do them in a kind and understanding manner, they're telling me. And an awakening. So the awakening for me, they tell me your things are gonna be you're gonna look at things a little differently. Things are gonna be looked at differently, okay? And I feel like there's a temporary standstill what you're going through now is what it's telling me. Then I have the world card. So a job well done. Okay, so it tells me with the world card the accomplishment, tells me completion. It's inevitable. It tells me that this is something that wholeness, you're gonna make this situation whole. And this is something that contentment and joy is coming for you. And the Queen of Fire. So it's your time to stretch your wings and fly. They're telling me, be confident. They're telling me the Queen of Fire, the Queen of Wands. So trust yourself. Don't underestimate yourself. They're telling me. Um, you are going to help create independence. You're able to do this. You're helping with the situation. And then the Emperor card. So yes, it's going to come to fruition for you. Okay. So I have four major arcanas in this pull. So it tells me what the Emperor said. Yes, it's happening. It's going to be very good, nurturing. It's evolving right now. You're going to be accomplished because of it. So this is something that you keep working at it and tell me, okay? And the Three of Earth, the Three of Pentacles is holding up my reading. So it tells me you're building something and the others you're collaborating with is going to be successful, okay? You built that foundation now. That foundation is going to help progress us along. So that delay is, I feel, is going to be over soon, and you're going to make some progress with this, okay? I don't know if you're handling three cases or more or whatever the situation is, but tells me that this is something that will be successful for you. Hope that resonated with you, and thank you for your chat. Hi, Jason. Tell me why my mother has so much animosity towards me. Is it a past life thing, or what could it be? Let's find out. Interesting. I thought we would have more people by now. Oh well, the ones I need to be in front of me will be in front of me. No worries. Okay. I got the Four of Swords, so I feel like this is something that has this has been going on for a while, but I feel like there's been a lot of contemplation from your mother. I feel like she's been contemplating a lot from the past. And I feel like whatever the situation is, I feel like there's been some information that's been pass back and forth between you guys. And I feel like with the Eight of Wands next, it tells me maybe what's been brought to you has been not so good. But I feel though when it comes to this, there's a change to the situation. 'Cause I have the Two of Wands, so it tells me this is something that's already been planned. So it tells me there's some history here, possibly from other times. And it tells me you're going to make progress. Okay. It also tells me there's start making plans for reconciliation because it's going to happen. There's going to be some travel in your future, or her traveling to one of the two. Because I have the Five of Wands, so maybe it's somebody has ill health or something along that line is with the traveling before. But I feel like there's a lot of insecurity when it comes to your mother, and there's a lot of like loss, feeling or fear, disconnect is what I'm kind of getting. And the with Queen of Swords, that's your mother, so it tells me, like, this is, there's gonna be some type of clarity in the future. It also tells me there's gonna be, I feel like maybe the perception is gonna change, and I feel like the energies around her and yourself are going to change. So, it tells me there's gonna be, some communication in your future that's gonna develop and happen for the better. Then I have the King of Swords, there's gonna be clarity, okay? So it tells me that there's gonna be some truth come out, but it's gonna bring clarity, okay? It tells me that both of you there's gonna be some honesty that's coming out. It also tells me you're both are thinkers, you think way too much, like, your mom contemplates a lot, so do you, Two of Swords, so it tells me you're both kind of avoiding the situation, there's gonna be some type of a, avoidance, or maybe there's been some avoidance with whatever how the decisions you made or what you're presenting to others or to each other, and I feel like there's something there that is being avoided. I don't know if there's a conflict or there's something there that you one of you aren't addressing that's being avoided. I have the Moon card because of fear. So it tells you the Moon card, there's anxiety involved in it. But I also feel like there's I keep getting avoidance, but there's something there. I feel like maybe you don't understand why is the mystery with the Moon card. But I also feel like with her, she doesn't understand you at times. That's what I feel like. There's something there. I have the Five of Cups, so it tells me fears, loss. You see, I'm frozen now. Impressive. So it tells me when it comes to this fear, loss, there's some grief here. Okay, so there's something there like disappointment about something, pessimism when it comes to this energy. But the Justice card tells me that there's going to be truth and clarity to this and balance brought back to your future or to your relationship. So it tells me this needs to happen. There's gonna be equitable relationship. There's not gonna be an over dominating, domineering, relationship in the future. So it tells me there's gonna be clarity and truth that are gonna come out, and it's gonna bring balance. So it tells me Knight of Swords tells me defend your beliefs, okay? Stand strong. So it tells me all these people are calling me now. People for readings, that's why. People I met across the nation, but so it's telling me I think there's something to do with energy past life, but I also feel it's something to do with your past here in this life. So I feel like there's a lot of, confusion, to things, I feel like for your mom as well as yourself. I feel like you don't understand each other. You're not vibrating at the same frequency as what I'm getting, but there is gonna be something because of an ill health. I feel like I don't know if there's gonna be a trip in your future or someone because of health or something along that line, I feel like it's gonna bring some clarity and movement to the process. So there is gonna be some travel for one of you two because of helping the other person not feel well, or maybe something it could also be something maybe financially, that's gonna cause the situation to progress, for help. I feel like that's what this is gonna be the breakthrough. Um, but this is your mom is thinking about things a lot, and I feel so are you. So you both need to you need to release these things for yourself, forgive yourself, and all will be well. That's what you're telling me. This is you guys have this is a temporary obstacle for you. This is a bump in the road. This is there's tension, but that tension will relieve and release as you progress. So I don't, hopefully this resonated with you. I feel like that's where this is going. There's going to be some type of communication about something maybe financially or some health involved that will maybe there'll be some traveling, and then I feel like there's some reconciliation that will happen at that point. So, hope that resonated with you, Tony, and thank you for the super chat. Have I done what Spirit wants to move forward in my spiritual gifts? Let's find out. So I have yes. I have a nine of wands. It's a yes card for me. It tells me tests of faith. So you've been tested. They're telling me you've been resilient. You've been moving forward. You're making progress. Okay. So it tells me you're gearing up for something. I have the Nine of Pentacles, so it tells me, yes, the fruits of your labor tells me that you are standing strong. Um, excuse me, it tells me you're becoming independent. This is something you're understanding. You're becoming sovereign and connected with spirit. The Seven of Wands tells me that you've had challenges, okay, but you overcome them. You've maintained control. So it tells me you've been defended as well. The divine Father God has protected you. The Judgment card, yes. So it tells me that this is an awakening for you. This is a reckoning that's happening for you. It tells me a rebirth, okay? It tells me forgiveness and mercy. So for yourself and for others. So it tells me this is something you're growing into and you're learning. So you're going to be redeemed, they're telling me. A new phase. And I have the Ten of Swords, so a completion of something. You're going to find out that maybe things I feel like betrayal, upset, the backstabbing, all that stuff, that's going to come to an end and a completion for you. But I have the Eight of Swords as well. So it tells me maybe, once again, self imprisonment, doubts in your mind. This is something that they're telling me like entrapment of your own mind by you holding yourself back at times. And the High Priestess card tells me divine feminine knowledge, tells me that trust yourself. You have great wisdom inside of you. And your energy is good, it's pure, you're very knowledgeable, and you have a lot of skills, so you're growing, they're telling me. You have to release that block in your mind. The Four of Pentacles tells me that there's something you're holding on to again. You are secure. Things are going to be okay. Tells me that there's some gifts that you're holding on to still that you haven't let go because you haven't released these things yet that you need to let go of. This is part of your expansion. So you are on the path, but there is some growth still that you are going to do. So it tells me that there's some things you need to let go of. The Tower card, so release. That's a release. Exactly what I just said. There's some things you need to release. So the Tower card tells me that revelation. There's going to be some revelations and some growth from this release that will happen with the Tower cards. Then the Four of Wands tells me progress. Tells me that the divine is celebrating you. You will celebrate yourself and give praise and glory. It tells me joy is coming. So it tells me harmony. Part of your growth is happening with the Four of Wands and celebration. So it tells me you are on the path, but there's some things that you still need to let go of that once you do, you're going to grow even more. So it tells me the Seven of Swords. So it tells me that betrayals, I feel that you feel betrayed at times. This is something you've been going on. It also tells me they want you to maintain a strategy to continue to grow, working on it. That's the strategy, the strategic part of it. That you are making progress. The strategy of yours is working. You've had tests of faith. You're almost there. Telling me and be persistent. That all will be well. So I hope that resonates with you, Colleen, and thank you for the super chat. I love all creative things. I feel I'm very good at many things. I'm not sure what I like more, and there is so much I want to learn. What creative skills have I mastered before in past lives? Let's find out. I'm going to use my ancestor cards. What creative skills did Stephen and Kate master in her previous life? So I have the direction guardians. It tells me you master many things. It tells me you have multiple paths, and you're able to choose what path that you're mastering these things in. I have the Earth Guardian, so it tells me that I feel you're very good with nature, and I feel like maybe being very good at planting and gardening. I also feel like it also you're very good at working with the energies from your past, and being very grounded and rooted in this situation. Then I have Earth Mother, so you're very connected to the Earth. So it tells me that this is you felt you're very good at loving and compassion, so I feel you put a lot of energy into the things that you grew, maybe medicines, plants, like that in your past. I also feel when it comes to this, you were able to help others with here. I feel like you're a healer, and I feel like that's some of the gifts you have before. You're able to put these plants and these medicine and these things that you would make from the earth, and I feel like you're able to do that. You're able to use that as an earth guardian here to you protected you respected the earth, you protected it, but you also helped others. I feel like you're also with that medicine, you helped protect people who were or others who were ill, didn't feel well, and you're very good at working with energy, is what I'm getting. Then I have the fire guardian as well. So it tells me you have three guardians in here. So it tells me in multiple lifetimes that you've been very good. So it tells me that whatever you're passionate about at that in that lifetime is what you mastered. So it tells me that you're going to ignite things. So I feel like in this lifetime something's going to ignite for you as well, and you're going to know right away that this is something that you were really attracted to. You want to learn and grow, as you mentioned before. So whatever you're passionate about. Then I had the broken arrow. So it tells me the energy, how you it's a journey, but it tells me though how you hit it, how you took that energy out. So you may have hit it quickly and understood it quickly and took off with it, or it may have been a little slower developing. So it tells me as the energy come along is how you were able to adapt to it. Then I have a Lord. So it tells me that I feel that you were a leader in previous life. So it tells me that you were very good at commanding others, like in a good way. But it also tells me that you're able to take charge. And once you grow, you're an authority on something. So I keep getting medicine. I keep getting healing. I keep getting something to do with the land. But I also feel like you had others underneath you that came to you for guidance, for support, but also for healing is what I'm getting with the Lord card. Because I have a magic guardian. I feel you used to make potions and not like dark, but I feel good potions to heal. And I also feel like the magic, you had a lot of great skills that you're gonna even learn in this one, that you're growing into. So it tells me that you're able to use the magic within you to help heal others. Then I have the wise one. So it tells me you're a very old soul. You've been doing this for a while. So you're growing. So it tells me you're gonna grow in your current situation. So it tells me this what they're telling you right now, that in this you're gonna find it. It's gonna resonate with you. You're gonna grow right. You're gonna feel right. It's gonna feel like a glove. They're telling me you're gonna feel it. You're just gonna know when it's here for you. You're gonna resonate with it. Then I have the water guardian. So connecting with your emotions in your heart. That's what they're telling me. What you feel in your heart is where it's gonna fit. It's gonna feel like a warm blanket. You're just gonna understand it. You're gonna know as you have in your previous lifetimes. So it tells me you're gonna just know. Your emotions will connect. You're gonna feel very, very fulfilled and balanced. And the shaman, I knew you were a healer. So it tells me the shaman, you're a healer. You're a spiritual healer. You use potions to help heal others of physical ailments, help them as the magician or the magic guardian, help them to grow spiritual gifts as well. So I feel like this is something that you're going to do in this lifetime as well. You're going to grow into something, and it's going to click as it has in the past. Because I feel you're a leader, and you have been a leader in your past, and I feel like this is something you're going to grow into in this lifetime as well. So I hope that resonated with Sweet Cakes. Thank you for the chat. My boyfriend is great. He was killed in a car accident on the freeway 2 days ago. Just break it to the other side. Too bad. And I was, oof, sorry about that. Let me ask angel cards for that one. My other card. So I got the high priestess card. So it tells me like she was. I feel she, yes, she was pulled over to the other side. I have released the next card for me. So it tells me an ending of something. Okay, it tells me a spiritual transformation occurred at that point. She moved on. I have the Knight of Water. So it tells me falling in love. It tells me divine love. Okay, so the Knight of Cups. So it tells me that this was something that balance came. So it tells me that a knight in shining armor came to her while she was passing and helped her move along. And the chariot. So I see. So I feel a guide came and helped her transition. So she did transfer. It tells me great achievement. Tells me this is it happened for her, but she is in a good place. This was something that was a change for her. And the four of earth. So it tells me like that it's a she's secure. So now she's transitioned. She's secure now. That's what she's wanting. She wants everyone around her that's left here to be secure and to feel secure. She's okay. Because I have the Ace of Swords or the Ace of Air, so yes. So it tells me yes, victory. So she was able to overcome this scenario, and she said there's going to be mental clarity moving forward. So that she wants you all to take that breath and say, "I'm okay. I'm in a better place." There's going to be some clarity for you in the future. So the Queen of Earth tells me she's healed. She's fulfilled. She's also going to come there, and she comes to your boyfriend or to your boyfriend's family, and to others that she was close to. She's going to come to them. She's going to help them. She's going to help them in their time of need, their time of despair. She's going to come there and help nurture them. So it tells me, yes, she has me at the other side. The release card came out, so it needs to release the doubts that she is where she needs to be, and she is doing great, and she is healed again. So she's whole. So that's what she wants others down here to be. It was time for her to go with that chariot card. It was time for it was part of her journey while she was traveling, is what I got. So, but she did travel and she did make it to where she needed to be. To God, because I asked her, she's come to God, she came to you. And that's what I got. So I hope that resonated with you, Irene, and thank you for the super chat. Healing for my cat tomorrow. He will be 15 years old. He eats 4 cans of food and is very skinny. His metabolism off due to the last grooming in bed. Ooh. So do you want me to see how he's going to do, Shirley? Is that what I'm getting at? So let's see if he's going to be successful for his healing. Okay. So I have the balance card. So it tells me maybe some balance will come back from this. But I have the nine of air, so I feel like you're expecting the worst. That's what they're telling me with the nine of swords. So it tells me like this is. I feel like you maybe haven't slept well with it because of what's going on, but it tells me that expecting the worst. But I have the nine of cups, so the nine of water tells me contentment. Okay, it tells me fulfillment. It tells me your wish will come true. So you so let go of this. So your concerns will fade away. They're telling me. And I had to clean water because of a healing. I don't know if this is gonna be a healing from a female energy, but I feel like whoever's gonna help, it's to trust that that's what's going on, and to, um, it's gonna there's gonna be some caring done, okay? So it tells me healing and nurturing with that Queen of Water with Queen of Cups. and the Three of Earth or the Three of Pentacles. So it tells me, yes, a collaboration. So it tells me there's going to be building of something. So building up the health again, okay? So it tells me happiness and contentment once again. But I have the Two of Swords. So it tells me there may be a little delay before the betterment after this, but there will be, okay? I have the Four of Swords after that, so it tells me a resting, a renewal is going to happen after this. It's going to be a little bit of delay after this happens, but I feel like that's where the renewal is going to happen. As you may not feel like it's moving along, but it will. But I have the Ten of Swords or the Ten of Air, so it tells me completion. This is going to be complete, okay? So it tells me all that painful ending will come to an end. All that pain will come to an end, they're telling me. And that's what I'm getting. But I have the Three of Swords, so tells me that it's time to heal. So this is a time of healing for me, for you, and for yourself, okay? But the King of Water, the King of Cups, so open your heart and your mind to that. Tells me there's going to be balance with this again, okay? Supportive energy. That's what they're telling me is going to happen. And then I have the Knight of Air, the Knight of Swords. So yes, so you're taking action. It's going to start to once that little delay of after the healing, things will start to pick up speed. Okay, so continue to work, find creative solutions for this is what I'm getting. And then the Two of Cups, the Two of Waters. So yes, things are going to continue to grow in a good way. Okay, so it tells me harmony, a positive resolution to this conflict is what I got. And I have the Strength card holding up my reading. So it tells me stay strong, be open to the love and receiving, giving that love out. It tells me that great inner strength is required and things are going to move forward. Okay, stay strong and confident. That's exactly what they're going to be strong and confident again. That you asked about it. Usually, the strength card in traditional decks are have a lion and a woman. So this is when it comes to the trust. That's what we're telling me trust. And this is what's going to happen. So balance is coming, okay? The fruits of your labor are coming. So it tells me to continue to progress. It'll be a little bit of a delay that you'll start to see some improvement, but then you will, okay? You'll see some improvement when it comes to that after a little bit of delay after the fact that this is done, okay? So stay in the truth, believe, and it will be. Hope that resonated, Shirley, and thank you for the super chat. My current rescue kitten or rescue, excuse me, my current rescue kitty, Maddie, has been with me 1.5 years, and she is beyond magical. Are there things she wants me to know? Well, let's find out. I have the justice card. So she's telling me to tell you justice is going to come, okay? So there's going to be clarity that's coming, okay? And balance and truth is going to come out. Then the Emperor's card. So she tells me that thank you for taking care of me. She's like, you're a good parent. You help me. You nurture me. But she also said that you're able to. She's doing the same thing, but somebody is developing. There's going to be some accomplishment for you, and you're telling me this is. She said the actions you're taking is part of you're evolving into this. So it tells me that there's going to be abundance for you. Then I have the strength card. So this is all major arcana. So she's talking straight. She's like, so also with the strength card, a key. That's the lion and the woman. So she's telling me that there's love. Be open to love. She loves you and she knows you love her. But also tells me that to focus, have compassion for yourself and have compassion for others. She's like, because sometimes there's a lot of things like she says you're hard on yourself a lot. So she's like, she wants you to focus on that a lot. And she has a lot of influence. So she says she communicates with you all the time. You just don't maybe not understand it because I have the Eight of Wands. So it tells me there's news coming. She also communicates with you. So there's always constant energy. And I feel she's telling me you're going to be traveling in your future. And I have the Ten of Pentacles. She's telling me you're going to be okay. Contentment tells me financial security and abundance. Also tells me long-term success. So it tells me things are going to be beautiful. Okay. So she's like, you're building something. Okay. And the Knight of Cups. So she tells me that she is your knight in shining armor. She helps you. So it tells me she brings energy to you, maybe when you're down, things like that. So I feel like this is something that she wants you to follow your heart. So I keep thinking between that and the strength card, that means open in your heart to be for the love, the exchange. So she tells me that um, she's a good luck charm. That's what she tells me that she is. And the Queen of Cups. So there's intuitive energy that there's some empathic energy between you two. There's healing that happens between you and her. And I feel like this is a big thing. So she brings emotional stability for you. So she's like when you kind of out of whack, she helps you kind of stay calm. So she wants you to know that. Thank you for caring for her. She's very, very thankful. And I have the Six of Cups. So this is something from um, you've known her from already in the past. This is a pet from your past. I feel like this was something that was a gift to you. So it tells me you already known her, this energy in your past when you were a child. So I don't know if there's a pet you were connected with in your past as a child, or maybe another future, a past life, something along the line that you reconnected, and there's a reason for it. So it's a gift. There's a gift, and there's familiarity. She's saying that I feel like since you've known her, it's been familiar feeling for you. So she wanted you to know that we've been together before. So hope that resonated with you, are my sunshine, and thank you for the super chat. When can we expect to have anti-gravity high-speed trains in the U.S.? Well, they already have them underneath the ground, but up above, let's see. Well, it is coming because I have the Nine of Pentacles, so the fruits of the labor, okay, is coming. So maybe in the next 9 years, but things are going to make progress in the next two. I feel like the trains are going to be all over the U.S. maybe in the next 9 years. They're going to be building them. We're putting them up. But I feel like they've already been planned. There's already plans in place, and I feel like this is something that we're gonna discover. That's traveling. That's a travel card, so it is coming. Okay, so it's been planned already. And then the chariot card, also another movement card. So it's gonna be very fast, rapid movement with the chariot. So it tells me things are gonna pick up speed. Okay, so it tells me um, we're gonna departing of the old, how we used to travel is gonna be different. And the King of Pentacles. So it's going to be something that's been invested. It tells me it's going to bring, it's going to be a very good, it's going to be prosperous for others, for everyone. And it tells me there's going to be abundance, prosperity. And this is telling me that this has already been planned by a leader in the past. And the Six of Swords, also a transition card, a movement card, tells me moving out of troubled waters. So how we used to travel in the past, we're leaving that, going to leave that behind, and everything new is going to be moving forward. So I feel we're going to see trains all over, possibly in the next 9 years. You'll start to see within the next 9 years, you're going to start to see these anti-gravity trains. I feel maybe the next, like I said, next 9 years, and I keep getting for me, and I keep getting this is something that's already been planned for sure in the past. So, and what's holding up my reading is the Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups tells me that this is something that's going to be presented to us, okay, and it's going to be a very creative way how we travel compared to what we used to. So it tells me this is going to be maybe the military will present this information to us, is what I'm getting, and let us know that this is something that will be presented for all of us to be able to use in the future. So for all the sovereigns that will be able to use it, it's all of us kings and queens that are under God. So go through the next 9 years, you're going to start to see these anti-gravity trains popping up all over the place. So it's going to be worked out, but it will be successful. Hope that resonated with you, Dennis. Thank you for the super chat. Cecilia. Lover's card come out. So if you're in a relationship now, I feel like there's gonna be more connection there. But if not, I feel like there's someone coming into your life that's gonna be very, very harmonious for you. There's gonna be an alignment for you, I feel like, in the love category. And I feel like there's some choices that you're making that's making you're gonna be stronger for these choices from your past. I have the Knight of Pentacles, so it tells me that you're a very hard worker. So I feel like whoever is if they're not in your life, they're coming into your life, they're going to be very responsible, or they're very responsible, very hardworking. I feel like you are as well. So it tells me that this is something that's very truthful. I keep getting truthful, responsibility. And the Wheel of Fortune tells me a good turning point for you, good luck, fortune. It tells me this is something that needs to happen. A karmic cycle is going to complete. So it tells me a change is coming, a turning point, but it's for the better for you. I have the Four of Cups, so it tells me that you've been contemplating a lot of things in your mind. I also feel like you've been disconnected at times because of the things you've learned. So it tells me like you've been reevaluating. So they're telling me to slow. They want you to keep connecting, meditate, or slow your breathing down. Whatever it is, how that looks for you as a meditation or quieting down, that's what they want you to do because that's where you're going to reconnect. The Eight of Cups tells me departing of the old. So you're going to leave behind maybe what you do. This is a transition point for you in your future. So it tells me leaving behind something or walking away from something. So it tells me that something is inevitable that's happening. That's going to be departing of the old. And the Six of Cups. So it tells me like um, you're there's going to be joy. So it tells me whatever this transition for you, walking away from something old, departing from something, is going to bring some joy for you. Okay, so it tells me that this is going to happy memories are going to come from this, um, and it tells me this is something that you're going to find that joy in life. And the Justice card. So whatever's going on, or whatever situations are bothering you or going on, there's going to be some clarity and justice for you. It tells me that there's going to be some um, truth, some clarity, and balance brought back to your life with the it's inevitable. So whatever's going on, if things have been you've been maybe working on something, or whatever you're walking away from something, you're working on it, you're going to depart from that, and this new turning point is going to cause you to have success, and it's inevitable. It's a turning point for you. So I feel like the Seven of Swords holding up my reading. I don't know if there's someone that you or someone you felt maybe betrayed by, or the situation that you're finding out, maybe some sneakiness or whatever the situation was that was around you. I feel like there's going to be some clarity to that. So it tells me they want you to stand strong. You've been putting these things in order. And stick to the plan. They keep telling me stick to the plan. And this is what you are. You're going to make progress. And things are going to be clear for you in the future as you move forward. But there's some things that this disconnection possibly and walking away. So I don't know if maybe but there is going to be some harmony coming back into your life. You've had some out of sorts, maybe with a partner, or if you're looking for a partner. I feel like that's maybe the whole thing into this reading. Maybe something to do with that. I feel like it's something that's part of your growth, and you're going to have balance and harmony again. You just need to depart maybe the way you do things, how you think. You got to depart the old. I mean, that will be part of your growth. That will be when the justice comes, when you kind of let that go and move on from that situation. So, hope that resonated with you, Cecilia, and thank you for the super chat. Who is in possession of King Solomon's ring today? What has to destroy it? How destructive is the energy if it's spread freely? The military has the white hat because I have the Page of Pentacles, so it tells me that there's something there, like whatever this Solomon's ring is. it's financially, it's there's something financial to it, but it also tells me that there's some energy in it that's very, very strong. It's good for manifestation of things. And I have a page of swords, so it tells me there's a lot of conflicting information, a lot of gossip and innuendo going on right now when it comes to the page of swords. It also tells me that this ring brings a lot of energy to it. And I have the Knight of Cups, so it tells me that's the military. Oh, that's the center of the reading so far. So it tells me like whoever this is security. And it's going to be for the betterment. And I feel like this a knight in shining armor moment is protected. I have the Nine of Pentacles, so it's very abundant. It's for fulfillment. It tells me that whatever this is, the fruits of the labor are going to be successful in the future. For being sovereign, for bringing financial independence, and self sufficiency and luxury. So King Solomon obviously was very luxurious. And I have the Two of Wands. So the Two of Wands tells me that there's plans in the future that's going to affect the world. Okay, so making progress. There's going to be some things discovered in our future that we're going to learn. And the Chariot card. So whatever we learn in the future is going to change how we think. We're going to depart to old, and things are going to start to pick up speed. And it tells me that this has been moved a lot. I feel maybe it's been transitioned somewhere. The military has taken it. I don't know if it's off world or taken it somewhere. They've removed it. And I feel like this is something that will come into play. They're determined to use it and keep it for the good is what I'm getting. Chariot card. And the Four of Swords. So yes, they're hiding it. It's been secure. There's a reason why it's been. I feel like this is going to bring. I keep getting solitude. Like it's very, very hidden. But it's going to bring renewal. It's going to be renewed. Use renewal for the future. They're contemplating how to do this. Is what I'm getting because the Sun card tells me there will be something brought out in the future that's going to be very successful, very a rebirth, joy. So it's going to come out in the future, and there's going to be a lot of positivity and all as well. I feel like abundance for this. But I have the Devil card holding up my reading, so it tells me there's been there was some attachment to it. So whoever the dark had it at the time, the dark had it at the time for sure. They were holding on to it. It was very they made it like almost toxic or did toxic things with it. And I feel like it was hidden. It was a chain. It was chained or secured. And I feel like this is something that was because whoever had it had a lot of financial resources that held on to it. And that's what they used it for greed and for toxic things and manifestation of materialistic things is what I'm getting. But that tells me that the military has taken over it and they have it secured. And I feel like some are very, very remote. It's very hard to get to. And I feel like it's very well guarded. So I hope that resonates with HP, and thank you for the super chat. Paul, let's find out. I don't know if you know this about Paul, but I feel like he has he might get premonitions, maybe when he dreams. But I also feel like there's a little bit of mystery around Paul that maybe you may not know. Because I had that but I also feel that maybe there's some anxieties, inner anxieties, and things like that when it comes to this. Because I feel some of these things scare him. He may not speak about, but I feel some of these things that he's experienced scared him from his past. And I feel like, but he's making progress. Six of Wands, so it tells me like his self confidence. Possibly, I feel like some of the things that maybe he's experienced in his past have caused him to be fearful. Maybe some visions he's had, maybe some experiences that he's had. I feel maybe even dreams that he's had that's been like almost it tells me that he's making progress. He's growing. It tells me things are gonna be, he's gonna recognize these things, moving forward. And the 7 of Pentacles tells me, like, um, what the stuff that he's going through, he's gonna be very successful with it long term. So it tells me he's growing, he's starting to learn. He's been putting things into place spiritually, as well as himself. I don't know if he's a successful or hard worker. So the things that he's been doing is gonna work out to being successful. I have the Magician card, so it tells me like um, I feel he has a lot of abilities that he's afraid of, or maybe things he doesn't understand, but he's gonna have great skill, in the things that he does. So I feel like as he moves forward, his confidence level is what he needs to work on. His confidence level. I feel like some of the things that have scared him from his past or his uncertainty has caused his confidence level to be down. But I feel he has great power, and he's gonna be able to have some clarity moving forward. But also tells me that there's a lot of burden on him. He's got a lot something is burdening him, something is he's holding on to, and I feel like um, I don't know if he's got other things going on, but I feel like this whatever's bothering him is his burden that he's been holding on to. Like, he's carrying it with him. He's been carrying it with him for a while, but he's gonna complete that. I keep getting 7 of Cups too. I keep getting illusions. I keep getting, like, daydreaming. So I feel like maybe when he's dreaming or he gets these visions, he's getting premonitions. He gets them. So I feel like that causes him, um, to have these racing mind or even, like I said, the anxieties. I feel like as he has things that just pop into his mind and constantly but he's had these since he's been younger. So I feel like there's something there with him that he's searching for a purpose at times, searching for a purpose. He will find his purpose in the future because I feel like right now with the 2 of Pentacles, there's he's always balancing things, like, he's out of balance at times. So it tells me that there's some decisions that he's always weighing. So I feel like these are these premonitions, these decisions, he's kinda out of whack with the 2 of Pentacles. So it tells me he's gonna adapt to the situation moving forward. He's gonna start to learn to adapt to it better. And then the Ace of Wands. So tell me this is part of his growth. So this growth will create opportunities for him in the future. So it's all about his desire and his willpower. That's what this is. His confidence and his willpower is what's being. He has a lot of potential. I keep getting there's a lot of potential for him, but he has to let go of these doubts and these fears of the things that he's had. He's known about these things since he was a child. I don't know if he's discussed this with you, but I feel like with the 3 of Pentacles holding up my reading, he's gonna work and collaborate. He's gonna start to grow and build something. So it tells me that he's gonna make progress by talking with others and also working around others. So I feel like that's something that you may have a huge part to do with that moving forward. So hope that resonated with you, Lady E, and thank you for the super chat. How can I remove any blockages so I can elevate my spirituality? Well, I don't even need cards for that. What they're telling me, Carrie, is belief, belief, and blockages. That comes back to you and your belief that you are removing these blockages, that you do not have any blockages. Your intention is that strong. So they're telling me they want you to connect more. As if you haven't already, quiet your mind on a daily basis. Make it a routine. Make it a routine that even throughout your day, I release all blockages. I release all things. But you have to believe, not what we think and what we say, but we have to believe it in our heart. So the actions that we take from speaking into existence and our thoughts has to come from a place of belief, belief that God is removing them through the power you have inside of you from God. That's how powerful you are. So they want you to know that you need to reconnect and believe that God flows through you and works through you. So he wants you to know that your spirituality will grow. You have to manifest and manifest and manifest and to not I feel you block your energy at times, like I read for others tonight. You block your energy because when you get going and you get there's the world comes at you, things come at you quickly, then the doubts set in. I have blockages. Oh, things aren't moving along smoothly. There must be something blocked. That's not the truth. Even if things don't move along as we expect or feel they should, doesn't mean necessarily there's a block. Just means there's a reason why spirit has slowed you down at that point. It's to look at things from a different perspective, stop and smell the flowers or smell the roses, as they say. It's time for that to happen. It's basically looking at things from a different perspective. So that's what it is. I feel like your growth is the blockages. You're able to remove them quickly. Just like the energy in your home, stagnant energy of others. It all comes down to your belief. If you do not believe, you will not achieve. If you believe, you will achieve. So that's what they're telling me is continue to have that mentality that you are full belief, not what we say we believe. It's like when people say, I forgive you, it's got to come here from your heart and your soul. That's where it connects. So that's how you remove it. It's through your intention, through your intention, through your intention. And that's powerful. Once you all figure out that you're that powerful, that God created you, only one of you in his image, guess what? Unstoppable, unstoppable. So that's what you're telling me. Continue to work, progress, remove these blockages with your intention. The things you do are secondary. If you go for a walk, you say, or I tell people to stay away from sage because sage actually not only does it remove the darker energies or negative energies and lower frequency energies, it also removes some of the good ones too. So um, it's your intention. Whatever you use crystals, if you use um, salt or whatever it is, it's your intention, the energy you put out from good intention of your heart and the integrity and the goodness for connected to God. That's the biggest spiritual message that spirit has for me is to let go of your self-doubt. Let go of your self-doubt and all will be well. So if that resonated with you, Carrie, and thank you for the super chat. I'm just reading some of the chats. I go through it. I like reading the chats at the end. So the sound has been breaking up, huh? Yeah, it's just weird. So I've been jumping around too. My camera froze, but when I'm reading sometimes I've been malfunctioning the cameras a lot. So yeah, awesome. Nice. Thank you, lady. That's true. See, lady D, legitimately, I'm telling you guys, there's some stuff that I never told her. She read for me and she got it right. So I'm pretty amazed. It was pretty on point. So I mean, I'm not like some of these greedy readers that want to make every dollar that they possibly can doing some bullshit online about entertainment and all this other stuff. Like this is Hollywood style. Um, and I'm also I want to promote others. Honestly, I feel like the more of us that get out there, the better. I mean, it's not the others who. I mean, I was really surprised. Janine, the Ravens Janine, I haven't listened to her for months and months either because she flip flops. She's way too many flip floppers. And at this point, if you're a tarot reader or psychic or whatever, and you keep saying the same thing over and over and over, there's only so many ways you can tell somebody something before they finally say, "Yeah, okay, I don't believe anymore." But even for her, she literally said to Miss Arcana Shores, Hollywood Square dating girl that they're having online, um, that she shouldn't have promoted me way back in the day because I was taking money out of her pocket. So that's literally what the Queen of Raven said. So so that was like, okay, I understand. I believe me, I was behind the scenes of a lot of these individuals that a lot of people listen to, and guess what? They aren't who they say they are, I promise you that. So, a lot of these people are fake, and a lot of these people are only there to make I mean, don't get me wrong, we all have expenses and we all wanna make money, but there's some that are they take it way too far. So, my job is to help others, and that's why I wanna keep pushing this stuff out for people. So, just keep pushing this energy out. I mean, literally, that's what this is. It's about progressing the energy, not progressing yourself through your own greediness or your own stuff of manifestation of the money you wanna make, that's not what this is about, that's the problem, and if you notice a lot of these groups, they stay together. They've been together from the beginning. So that's what honestly, um, it's, Sharon, you will be successful with the Camp Lejeune water issue. I feel your husband if you're if you I don't know if your husband, I feel like he's passed because of this, he's had health issues. So I feel like are you a part of a big lawsuit or something? I feel, Sharon, I feel that you will be very successful with this. This will come out that they've been poisoning the water. So I feel that there's gonna be some resolution. You are gonna see movement in it. So, yes, I feel that very much so with the Camp Lejeune water issue. I feel like you've lost a spouse because of that. So that's what the justice card I just got in my head right now will come. It's coming for you. So it tells me there's going to be some clarity and justice and balance for you and fairness. And the offer you're going to get is going to be fair. So I feel like there's going to be some resolution so you can close that chapter to your life. I feel very strongly that's what's coming. Okay. So stay positive. Even if things are slow with this, it's going to work out in your favor. I promise you. I know it. So believe it. Okay. So hopefully that resonated with you, and thank you for super choppy. I'm sorry, sometimes I don't know what it is, man. So I'm telling you, my spirit's really been it's really been like hitting me hard lately. Like for me to have dreams, I've been having a lot of them lately, and they've been very detailed. It's crazy, but some of them don't make sense to me right now, but they will. They will make sense. The biggest thing that I keep seeing is fear, the fear, even for myself. Yeah, I'm telling you, this is legit, Shirley Q. Yeah, I break the internet, man. Why do you think my channel is as low as it is with they've taken so many subscribers from me? So, yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah. He's had that since he's a kid. Thank you, Cecilia, for the super sticker. I'm off. Tons of love to you all. Sweet dreams. So, yeah, I'm just trying to see what, new buzz? Yeah. Yeah, I shaved my beard off. It's getting to be, uh it's getting to be warm. So, yeah, interesting. I stopped listening about 2 years ago. That's a true story. I'm not trying to say that, but have you noticed that these same groups of individuals always rotate on each other's channels? And I honestly, I'm not trying to talk bad about others, but honestly, like JC, that guy is a warlock, and he has a brood of witches with him. No joke. So if you notice his brood has grown, first it was Janine, then it was Julie, Janine, and Sophie. Now it's another one that they bring over, and it's a brood of them. They work together. I promise you. They're manifesting their money. That's all that they care about. I hate to say that, but it's true. They may speak truth because that's how they get the money to come. But the fact of what they push, everything. I mean, a lot of people have left their energies because of that. But there's more people that keep coming in. The fact that those channels are so large and they stay around for the things that they've mentioned in the past. Anytime I drop a truth, my stuff gets shut down right away. So that's the part that's bothered me. I know that there's, I'm not saying all of them, but there's some infiltrators in there. I promise you that. I would not tell you something and bullshit you. I promise you. So I stopped listening to Janine. I stopped listening to, I have no problems with anyone personally, but you know what? There's when your goal is to make money, and that's your only goal is to make money by selling the truth, that's not gonna end well for you, I promise you. It's not. And that's why I wanna be like, and you're right, Jason is like a car salesman. You got that right. I used to sell cars, I know. I didn't sell them for long, I was good at it, but because I could talk, but I just didn't like how they did business. So, you got that right. I believe that very much so. So, and it's, I try to speak the truth, and then not everything if it resonates with you, great. If it doesn't, cool too. I don't it doesn't matter to me. I'm not gonna lose any sleep because of it. I only lose sleep because of the energies that are changing. And this is the eclipse, and the full moon is the perfect time to release things. And that's what I feel like spirit wants me to say in this situation. This is a huge time for release. And these things are gonna be brought to light. I promise you. I promise you this. And I've seen very little. That's why I got away from that truther stuff. Because I'm gonna tell you, nobody knows anything except for God. And when you do get a message from God, if you ask for signs, that resonates only with you. You can share your experiences, but it only should resonate with you because that message was only for you, no one else. So when they speak of these truths and this entertainment tonight, or and we're on Hollywood True Story, all that stuff that they're doing now on these shows. I mean, it's literally what benefit has that done for anybody except make them more confused and more pissed off when things didn't come true? Because believe me, for years, not a single thing. You can only tell somebody it's part of the movie. It's part of the movie. It's going to work out. This is all part of the show. And that may be the case. I'm not saying it isn't, but that also brings energy down when things don't happen. That's what I'm getting is because people are focused on that. And the readers could care less because they're making the money either way. I mean, the fact that I heard at one time a tarot reader online for somebody who paid for a question was literally that man or woman that paid for the question was told by the tarot reader, "I'm not gonna read that question because it's stupid." I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you're looking for spiritual guidance from someone that says those things in your question, you should run away as quick as you can. And I mean, honestly, if you think about this, not to talk about it, but for instance, why would a certain tarot channel that's been around, was very successful, why would they need to pretty much stop what they're doing and go under the Beyond Mystic umbrella and the Brood? Why? I don't understand that. You built something from the ground up, and then all of a sudden you're jumping onto that for whatever reason because of the money. That's all it is. Everything is money. Intention is not good. Intention is not good. And the fact that I heard Janine tell that, and I heard the message. I was told that firsthand. I was pretty upset when it comes to that situation because I mean, I used to love when I first started listening to Janine, but I feel like it was the reason why we were brought to these certain men and women for a certain time to kind of get us all together on a frequency. And it wasn't the message, that was delivered. It was the frequencies around us, and the energies that needed to separated. And the energies that are still there for a reason because they're not at the level that a lot of you who've broken off are. You're above that. And I feel like very strongly the ones that are evolving the most are finding you're going to be isolated almost. It's going to feel isolated to yourself, and because you're going to feel there's a reason God is isolating you. It's so you can work on yourself and yourself only. That's what this is about. Your journey is your journey. That's why God is going to isolate you and protect you from the things that you need to be protected from, including yourself at times. By isolating yourself, you don't have distractions. you're able to work, you're able to grow, you're able to work on yourself spiritually, mentally, physically, whatever that looks like. There's a purpose to that. And it's all because you come here in this plane by yourself. Well, you're traveling by yourself, and you leave by yourself with the energies that come to help you transition. But the point is, you only come into this world by yourself, and you're going to leave by yourself. And there's a reason why you need to connect with God. That's where you're going to find the most fulfillment, the most wholeness, the most pure answers you can get, even if they're harsh. Because my God is a very justice-filled God and a very vengeful God. I believe that that whole scenario of turn the other cheek was man-made and man-written 100%. The reason why I say that is because when we find out what we've been doing for this generation, why do you think they would put that in? Turn the other cheek, forgive thy neighbor, forgive this. God's commandment, literally, the Pope has come out and says, we've changed the commandments. We've removed commandments. We've made the commandment into two different commandments. So I'm telling you, there's a reason why. And the Sabbath, you're supposed to keep the Sabbath holy. Guess what? The Sabbath isn't Sunday, it's Saturday. So even that's wrong. I mean, literally, everything is deception for control. So God wants you to connect. You don't need someone to tell you to connect to God. Only you do that. That's your own special relationship with God. That's your Father. He created you. He created all. God is it, the all being. And you have that magical power inside you, just like Yeshua. Yeshua is our brother. Mary Magdalene's our sister. Those are honestly good energies. No, they don't want religion. They didn't want that stuff. They didn't want organized stuff. They wanted you to be able to connect with God all time. So it just comes back to working on yourself, continuing to strengthen yourself, grow yourself, educate yourself. Knowledge is power. God said, I put the information out there. It's up to you to find it. It's up to you to understand it. It's up to you to try to learn it, and it resonates with your soul. Once it resonates with you, you're going to become enlightened. You won't be able to be controlled. You're going to be able to see clearly from a different perspective. That's what the purpose of the awakening is. It's not to say, guess what? I'm going from 3D to 4D to 5D to 6D. Some are going to go here, some are going to go. That's all made up bullshit, man. Honestly, that's a true story. And the more that I've got into the spiritual stuff and gotten away from all that garbage that people spout, I'm able to understand that. And I've been away from the internet even more. And that's where I'm getting these messages, and I feel a lot of you are as well. This comes back to resonate. If it resonates in your soul, stay in your truth. Don't change what the hell you think or what's going on and what you feel because somebody else is telling you you should think wrong or think this way. I don't think that way. It's wrong. You don't understand. You're not there yet. You're not at the level of we are. That's the most ignorant freaking statement that I ever heard. Like some of these truthers saying that you're not at the level we're at. Oh, you're just uneducated. You're stupid. Those are, and that's Mr. Brad Johnson. I'm not even gonna bullshit with that. I mean, the stuff that he's spouting, yeah, he might be following a manual, but guess what? I even asked him the question the other day. I said, "Hey, Mr. Brad Johnson, if this is the case and you have everything down pat based on the war of law man or the law of the war manuals and all the EOs and all the government manuals that you supposedly follow it and put them in chronological order, as he says, you understand military intelligence." I said, "So if you have all this in place, what makes you think that the dark doesn't have this in place? If you can understand it so easily, and the rest of us are peons, as you always say, if you don't understand, you need to educate yourself." You know, if you're not at our level, sorry, or and he always makes the excuse of some 31 ASVAB score, basically saying that you're dumb if you had a 31 ASVAB and I'm a higher. That's arrogance. That's that's the stuff that irritates the shit out of me. That makes me want to like choke the shit out of some people because they're just running their mouth to run their mouth and belittling others for maybe not understanding some of the stuff that you're going through. Okay, I understand that. But once again, those same people that fly onto the scene and they become big, guess what? I'm telling you, not saying they're bad people or they're putting bad information out because there's a difference between misinformation and disinformation. Misinformation, for some of you who may not know, is putting something out that ends up to be incorrect, but you didn't do it with the purpose in mind to deceive. That's misinformation. Disinformation, for some of you who may not know, is purposely putting something out, purposely to deceive. That's the difference. So some of them may do the misinformation part. Some of them may do disinformation part. I mean, literally. I mean, if you notice that these same groups keep connecting with these same interviewers and they just flip flop all the channels and interview each other. Why is that? Why is there no new men and women coming onto the scene or understanding these things and growing this? There's a reason why, and this is why these channels are huge. And the ones that are really telling you the truth and really getting the stuff out that Spirit God wants, they're getting squashed. A lot of us are getting squashed. Somebody even mentioned to me the other day about this. Well, it's maybe because you're losing subscribers because you haven't been coming on as much and they want more content. That's what I got. Awesome. I love that feedback. And you're probably right at a point. But this has been going on since I've had my channel come on. So every time I post something that the dark doesn't like, or even when I post anything, the moment I post, within minutes of posting something, I lose subscribers. Every time, like clockwork. And I'm not the only one that's had that. So the ones that are losing subscribers and they're stayed small, they've been on the platform for a while, and they keep putting the energy out that's good, guess what? Those are the ones that you need to follow, not the huge channels with 30, 40, 50, 80,000, 100,000, 200,000 subscribers or more. There's a reason why they have that many. It's not because of the amazing skills and the things that they have that they're giving you or offering you. That's because somebody is allowing that to happen. They're pushing those feeders to them to make the channels look bigger than they are. I promise you that. There's something to this. I know that in my soul and heart that that's exactly what's going on. So you'll see. That's why a lot of you haven't resonated with a lot of these channels anymore. So I'm telling you, I'm not trying to talk to you. So I'm going to be honest. This is full moon. I'm letting it out. I think our Kenneth Shores. I don't mind Jason, but Kristen is not who she thinks you think he is. She is. And her reading skills, honestly, I mean, you can get a deck of cards and red cards are yes and black cards are no, yes or no. Seriously, I'm not saying she's not good at sometimes because she does get some things right, but not as often as people would feel. And Janine stopped reading people personally, what she did for all her life, supposedly, to make her living at doing truther stuff. And the truther stuff, literally, I don't understand how that happened, why her channel got shut down. And she was on the other channel of JC's, and his didn't get shut down. He got warnings. Ooh, okay, warnings. And who knows if that's really what happened with Janine's channel? We don't know that. She could have shut it down herself. I don't know. So she can move people to that private platform of hers, which JC is the owner of that, by the way, not Janine. JC and Julie built that platform for her, and she pays them to manage it and do her site. So I'm telling you, there's something to that. And the man that helped her for Janine all those years doing her camera work, her editing, all that. Guess what? He's gone out of the picture all of a sudden. And then she went over to her own platform with JC. That's what happened. That's what they do. They remove the ones that they don't want from their little group, and they bring the rest in. So I was betrayed. So some of you guys didn't know that I was betrayed very much so by Kristen and Jason. Not so much Jason, because Jason just kind of went off what Kristen was saying. Obviously, you saw that whole thing separated. But I was betrayed by them 3 different occasions. Like without any, all I did was ever support them, and that's the reason why I left. For that is because the third time somebody took a shit on me and kicked me in the nuts is the third time I'm like, you know what? Shame on me now. It's time for me to leave. And I never put that out. I wish everyone the best. But it's true. Same thing with Ishmael. That guy lives with his mom. He was lying to everybody all those times. Everyone's like, "Oh, I'm so your wife is dying of cancer. I'm so sorry. Sending you great energy and healing and oh, thank you." Well, guess what? He was a lying piece of shit too. So, and he just telling people that she was dying of cancer because they were separated, and supposedly she was a psycho, some shit like that. But I mean, stuff like that. I mean, that's the stuff that I find out in the back behind the channels, And I mentioned this before, but it's true. These people just say whatever they want you to think or feel good outside when they're in front of a camera. "Oh, look. Oh, yeah. I'm so amazing. Look. Oh, yeah. I'm great. I know all this knowledge, and I everything is great." And then when that camera goes off, the real shit hits off, and the real isn't matching up with the camera, and that's the thing that bothers me the most with a lot of these truthers, the ones that come on. David Nino Rodriguez, Mel Carmine. Um, I mean, the Mel Carmine is putting some information about the financial system, but there's some stuff going on with him too. I looked into him last weekend. So there's a lot of these, even Mark Z. Mark Z has something too. I'm not saying he's bad, but he is trying to help. But he has some stuff in his history too. I looked it up. The Spirit's been real accurate with me. So it's the fact that you can't hide from Spirit because your history and your energy doesn't hide. It stays with you. It will follow you always. And that energy, no matter what you've done in your past, if God and Spirit wants me to know, if I look into or any of you, you're going to find out, even if it's hard. People you think you trust, or that tells me come back to trust what you feel in your heart, and that comes back to trusting yourself, trusting what you hear, and trusting the actions of others. Because the actions of others, believe me, if it's not done in good faith at this point, how things are moving along with the energies now, it will come up quick. You saw how quickly our Candace Shores got disrupted, didn't you? And I'm going to tell you, it was a female who reported him at Jason's school, and it was someone who was very close to him. So I'm not going to say who it was. Someone close, a female reported him. So yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I mean, honestly, like I'm not trying to say that stuff, but honestly, I mean, all these people, yeah, Wano Savin, Mark C, Charlie Ward, they all have history. I promise you, all of them, all. Of them. So Wano Savin doesn't know dick. I'm going to tell you that. And if he didn't know anything, he just spouting it off just to. He's a misinformation guy. Not saying he's totally trying to deceive, but he's throwing misinformation out. So some things he does say have a little bit of truth in them, but he doesn't know shit. Everything that Ronald Savage says, Mister, I know everything. What's going to happen? All confident with his nice fancy cowboy boots that he kicks up and his little pictures and his videos. Guess what? Not a single damn thing that guy has ever said has come true the way it's supposed to. Yeah, DHP Junior, yeah, esoteric and land. Exactly. That's another thing. If somebody stole what Queen of Ravens is supposedly saying that esoteric Atlanta stole from her, $20,000, some shit like that. Guess what? That's not only is that's international money. That's money fraud. International. That's literally that's federal case. If that was the case, why didn't she go to the authorities if it was that much money? Not like it was $18. We're talking thousands and thousands of dollars. And guess what? Nothing ever happened to that. But we wanted to smear her, wanted to destroy her. There's a reason because that's a competition. Do you understand how this is working now? It's competition for the money. Anything that competes with the certain groups and they try to crush the other ones. That's the purpose. This is all about dog eat dog. That's why I'm telling you, there's a reason why they keep recycling each other. They keep recycling each other. There's a reason for that. So I mean, it's yeah. I listened to one maybe once or twice. I'm like, I don't know shit. So David Nino Rodriguez, only listen to him once in a while because I like how he used to just his personality with his loud mouth. Sometimes like, I would have a beer with that guy. But and the shit that they're putting out is like, okay, there is fear mongering coming, and I understand that. But the way these guys are saying is, oh, we're done already. The AI is coming in. We're going to be in FEMA camps. I mean, that's you're calling that into existence just by even thinking that bullshit. Not in mine. I'm telling you, not in mine. Not in my reality. I will never be stuck in a camp. I will never be stuck behind bars ever. You have to put me in the ground first before that happens. That's just me. They do eat themselves to THC, you got that right, 100%, man. So, Aquarius rising got rid of the Queen of Ravens really early on, couldn't figure it out at that time. Well, there you go. Yeah. I don't follow anyone else but myself, but, it's the fact of I'm just sick of holding shit back and playing the nice guy. I'm done with that, man. You can be a soldier of light and speak your truth, even if others don't wanna hear it. That's the time to speak it. It's when I'm sick of holding it back, man. Sick of holding it back. Yeah. The Wonder Twins are very, very manipulative. Janine Steffens, watch out for her. That lady has got she's got darker big time, big time. So, Steffens is also a fake. She pays for her subscribers. So, another thing too is you notice that the relationship have changed. Janine Steffens stepped in and was trying to take over the Arcana Shores thing for a while, and guess what? That broke off because JC said, "Nope, I outrank you. I'm gonna take this group. I'm gonna take her under my wing, and you go about your business." That was the third and final straw for me, was I was teaching tarot. I started teaching tarot in the first place on my videos, and I was asked by Kristen to help come along and teach. I'm the one that did all the work when it came to getting the stuff scheduled, getting the classes prepared, doing the lessons plan. I mean, literally all she did was show up and talk a little bit, and that was it. But I'm the one that did all the work. So then after the first class, she texted me, she goes, "Well, 'cause the turnout was less for the second sign up than the first one." She changed it on without even asking me. She said, "I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna start doing the class by myself and blah, blah, blah." Well, long story short, Miss Janine Steffen step in, and then she went from teaching that to, "Oh, we're gonna teach how to do Akashic records." That lady doesn't know shit when it comes to Akashic records, I promise you that. And I tell you, only one that can access your Akashic records is you, nobody else. Don't let anyone else ever tell you anything different. That is your record. Why should they have access to your personal record that God and you have created this whole time? Why should they have access to that? Because they can't. They don't. And anyone who tells you they're just making up bullshit about past lives. I can tell you anything you want about past lives. You want me to lie to you and tell you some bullshit. I mean, I can literally tell you all that. Everyone, oh, you had some trauma in your past. And we can always make some bullshit up. Oh, I see that you had this happen. You have to. It's all the same thing. Oh, you have to remove these blockages. It's all the same shit that these people prey on. I don't want to say this, but it's preying on people. It's preying on the ones who are looking for answers or validation. That and they come with demons come with handshakes and smiles. Handshakes and smiles. Never forget that. God gave me that. God gave me that saying. I've been saying it for a long time. Demons come with handshakes and smiles. Everything is beautiful. Everything is great. Look how awesome I am. And guess what? As soon as you see that turn, you'll see it. You're like, wow, it's that different. And none of us are perfect. Don't get me wrong. We all have flaws. I'm flawed. But I also stand in my truth. I have integrity in my mind first and foremost all the time. I come with a place of truth, even if it's ugly, I don't care. I release it because it's not my burden to hold. It's others' burdens to hold if they choose to do that based on your truth. So that's why I want this is the biggest learning experience for us. There is no gurus. There's no such thing as a guru. Anyone that calls themselves a guru, they may have knowledge to help you, but they're not a guru. Only guru is God and you. You're the guru. You just don't know how to do these things, and you got to remember. You do know them, but you just got to remember them. And that's your job is activating yourself. God is saying, they're highlighting the smart card. I'm illuminating you. I'm highlighting you for a reason. That's what this situation is. It's to grow. It's to progress. It's to release. It's your own growth. Many of you are in the heavenly realms during the daytime. You just don't know it, or while you sleep. And some of you are in the dark realms while you're awake or while you're sleeping. That's the change in consciousness. The change in consciousness for level up is understanding that you are traveling constantly between dimensions. Always, always, infinite. So there's no like, oh, well, we're gonna wake up. There's gonna be a big thing, and now tomorrow we're gonna call this fourth dimension now, and then We're gonna call it the fifth dimension tomorrow. Some of us are gonna go to the fifth dimension, and some of you are gonna be stuck in the third dimension. It doesn't work that way. I know that now, and I'm glad that I learned all this. I know what to discern all the bullshit and honestly, and that's us traveling. Your ascension is based on what your level is. No matter what, there's no numbers because this is infinite. You're infinite. As soon as God created you, you're infinite. So your levels are infinite. There is no specific level that you have to attain. That's whatever your goals are. When you're meant to check out of this plane, you will because you've accomplished the things that you needed to accomplish at that time. Not a second before, not a second after. And however that is, if you lose someone because of illness, car wreck, old age, whatever it may be, that's their time to go because they've reached their maximum that they needed to accomplish at this time so they can progress. As soon as you die, I feel it's almost immediate that you're transferred into another energy form, like back to rebirth. You may see some things and then you kind of recoup and then you're renewed. I feel like it's an automatic thing. You're just constantly coming back. So, but yeah, yes, PHP, your ascension depends on your gifts, right? Exactly right. I mean, that's why they call them ascended masters. They ascended because of the things that they were able to master. So that's what this is. You're becoming an ascended master. And this is something as part of your ascension. This is something you've been working on for lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes. When I saw my vision in the stairway of heaven, it's multiple layered, multiple levels. I could see the level up here at the top, but I couldn't see behind me. So I don't know how much I've been behind me. I'm assuming it's been a lot because I've been an old soul. I've jumped many timelines all the time. But that's all it was. It was just honestly getting collective energy. The stronger your aura is, and the stronger your energy is, the further your energy radiates. Think about that. So the stronger you are in rooting yourself and staying strong and being confident of the light, your energy field vibrates at a further distance. So you connect with other energetic fields. But when your energy is dampened and hidden and hindered because of your anger, your anxiety, your depression, um, your ailments, your energy starts to diminish. It starts to close in around you. So that's why when your light is so bright, your energy is so high, and your frequencies are extending out infinitely, that's where the lower energies cannot be around you. That's why that's why a lot of us, as we're vibrating faster, the energies that are falling off, they're moving away from us because it's like magnets. They're going to pull away from each other because their energies aren't at that level. So polar opposites breaking away because they have their journey, their timelines are going to go down individually. We have ours that we're going to go down individually. So keep asking God to open your gifts. Keep asking, but do it without fear. Tell God, I'm ready. Oh, I'm ready for these gifts. I am not fearful, but you have to, and you let God know. Even these things that come along, if I do get fearful or whatever I'm experiencing, that's okay. Keep moving forward with it because I am ready. You have to be ready, but you have to be it. Even if it's scary, you tell them no matter what, don't slow it down. Keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing, and it will work. So I saw SOULdier ahead of me on the stairway to heaven, way, way, way far ahead of me. Yeah, I've had I've actually observed myself taking babies and children to the kingdom, to the stairwell of heaven. So that's the biggest thing for me. And I've always had children, babies, children always look at me no matter where I am and just smile at me and just stare at me because there's a connection there with my soul when it comes to babies and young children. It's a very protective of them, and I feel like I have a bigger purpose of helping these babies take them to heaven. I don't know why I do. So, but yeah, it's just me talking. I haven't talked for a while. How do you know if it's God or a demon? Well, I'm gonna tell you, you'll know. You'll know because here's the thing, demons aren't I mean, they come in handshakes and smiles, but if your energy is high and you stay at a high frequency, and you stay in a place of gratitude towards God, and gratitude for yourself, what you have, and you stay at a high frequency, the demons won't they'll come into your energy field and they'll go away because they can't stay around you. So, and I feel even if it's a demon, they do come with handshake and smiles. Once you kind of let your guard down, you'll see the energy change. You'll feel it. You'll start to see things, patterns. You'll start to see, you'll feel it. I know it. You'll feel it in your heart. You'll feel it right here. You'll feel the heaviness in your chest and like a weight. I know you will. So it tells me that that's when your energy is when you let your energy down and your energetic boundary down and your the protection that you have around you, you let it down, that's when they infiltrate. So you'll know, believe me, God, I know you'll know when it's God because when it was me and God, I feel a warmth, I feel calm, I feel relaxed, I feel happy, and I've actually cried like a baby when I know it's God. And I feel very warm and very, very welcome and very just very heartfelt. So that's what I feel for me personally. You may be a little different. You may feel some things. So yeah, we're gonna be part of Nicera, Jacera, all of us. We have to be. So I know what it is exactly, exactly. You'll know, I promise you. So, but yeah, other than that, before I get off, I just want to say thank you guys for your super chats tonight. Hopefully these just resonated with you on these readings. I always try to give it my best. Um, and I just want you to know that I always come from a place of integrity. Um, and that's what I'm out doing. Not only am I trying to do this, I'm also out traveling, trying to help others get their confidence, take their standing back in this realm as well as we move forward and progress. Because this is a spiritual battle, but it also takes action and energy in this realm as well. Besides the energy that you're putting out in the spiritual realm, so it's going to take effort in many realms. That's why you're very drained, very sapped of your energy at times, because this is part of these tests when it's time, even when you're tired, you got to work on it because you're going to be called. All of you will be called. And when it's your time to be called, it's time for you to take it and run with it. And if your energy is sapped and not in a good place at that time, when you truly are called at that time, you won't be ready for it. So they're telling that's why they're saying this is things that they're developing for you when you're called and your purpose comes, you're going to be in a place ready to just hit the ground running and take it. So that's what God is telling me. He's preparing you for these things mentally, spiritually first, mentally and physically. That's why a lot of us go do these things. It's to test us. Just keep that test of faith. Just keep in the light. Because a lot of times, all these tests of faith, we want to be pulled away from God at times about the why and what's going on. And that's the time to connect to God and to tell God, thank you. I understand these things are going to be rough. I know we're going to get on the other side of this. This is part of my growth. And those are tests that God is giving. He's highlighting because you're a warrior. This isn't for the faint of heart. The ones that are asleep and just living comfortably in their lives, guess what? We are the warriors. We are the ones that are, God is testing his warriors first. True story. So wear that badge with honor because God says, you know what, you're one of my warriors. Thank you for fighting for us, for the light. So before we go, uh, I just want to say if we can, let's focus our energy right now. It doesn't have to be anything formal. I just want everyone, if you could, just to close your eyes. And we're gonna put energy out into the universe, okay? And this energy that we're gonna put out, I want you to slow your breathing down so we can get into a higher frequency, okay? In through your nose, out through your mouth. Release all these thoughts that are going on in your mind right now. Release them and just focus on your breathing. In through your nose, out through your mouth. In through your nose, out through your mouth. And I want you to, with this moon, this eclipse, and the moon right now, the full moon and the eclipse, I want you to release the things that have been holding you back. your fear, your doubt, your depression, your confidence level, the traumas from your past, the programming, the consent that we've given the dark, even by our silence. I want us to recall all that now. We're recalling this energy back to us with light, love, forgiveness, integrity, healing, and abundance. And as we heal this energy, we're going to put this intention out as this eclipse comes and this after this full moon. We're putting the energy out. We are successful. We are in Jasera. We are all abundant in all areas of our life. It is so good to be on the other side of this. It is so good that our children, our grandchildren, our grandchildren's grandchildren's grandchildren are safe and secure and loved and abundant. Doesn't that energy feel amazing as we push this energy out? We've healed this energy. This energy is high vibration. This energy is of God and is divine. He has saved us from the dark. He has defeated the dark. We have defeated the dark. We have attracted the abundance to all. We have cleansed this earth, this timeline, and these energies and frequencies. We have cleansed them from the earth. We have sent them to the light, to God to be judged. We are successful. The beautiful new world is here. It is here. It is here. So be it. So it is. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's another thing, real quick. The Ascend Nutrition, yeah, man. That guy is all in it for the money too, man. So all the products that he doesn't make a single product himself. So all the information he's presenting to everybody about saving the world, laws of nutrition, he's just getting that from other people. He's just repackaging it with Ascend Nutrition. And Kristen's pushing that too because she has a partnership in there with him. That's all it is. So I'm telling you, all the stuff that you can get it cheaper. And it's marked up a lot. He says, I'm not trying to make a verbatim. We're not trying to make a lot of money and trying to make tons of profit on this. We're just making it up marketing so we can cover our expenses and things like no, way high markup on everything. So I'm glad that you guys are seeing that. That's something I put on my channel for a reason. There's a lot of things. Every product that you can get from Ascent Nutrition, look at the back. The nice little label says made for or labeled for. You start researching this thing, the pine pollen, the algae oil, all that stuff. He gets that stuff outsourced, and he puts his nice little Ascent Nutrition on it and sells it through Kristen's channel. Because his channel he wasn't selling very much until Kristen's channel took off from Janine. And when Kristen, it's funny, when Janine took off the YouTube channel, Kristen started blowing up. Think that's a coincidence? No. So what I'm saying is that's stuff that it's telling you it's one big circle of stuff, man. It's one big circle of a group of them that are specifically focused on the money, and they use truth, they use people's vulnerabilities, and people's men and women's wanting things to be well. They're using that against them to make profit, and that's a truth, as big of a truth as you can get. So stand in your truth, stand in love. All will be right. Telling you guys, okay? Yeah, every time, yeah, right? So, Russ, yeah, right? I'm glad you got tingles. See, that's what it is. That comes down to. So, yeah, you're right. Muse, I agree. All this stuff that we're seeing is not a coincidence, guys. So everything is not a coincidence. I'm telling you, these things are happening for a reason. And they're being watched. If you don't think that your intention, if you're putting out a false intention, God and the divine is watching. If you're pure in heart and the things that you're doing, you really are trying to help others, and it's from a pure place of your heart, God sees that, and God sees if it's for monetary purposes, and there's dark energy surrounded with that. If that's what your goal is to become wealthy and well off from doing that, hey man, that's not how spirit works. So there's a reason why you have a gift. If you do have a gift, some people may not have very many gifts, but they have a little bit of a gift, and they keep growing these things. Those gifts are going to be diminished because of that. So that's all because God is very vengeful. God's like, I give you gifts, but I can pull them from you in a minute, in a second, actually, whatever we call a second, because that's what it is. It's all about intention from your heart. So I want you guys to let us know. Yep, exactly. That's what I want people to know. So I'm the queen of being bent. Yeah, telling you we're all there's a reason why this stuff comes, guys. Okay. I know God's gonna use me to help the children. Yep, you're right. A lot of us are going to be that way. We're gonna. I feel there's gonna be a lot of us moving around with children. Get ready, Jason. I'll be calling for another reading. Yeah, like I said, this is all the reason why I pulled my website off because I've been having besides the traveling I'm doing in the shows, it also the website has been like when people schedule with me, like they're in different time zones and all that, and I have to reschedule a lot of readings for others because our time zones are not matched up. I read for people all over the world, so the time zones are off. So that's why, and it creates a lot of extra burden and work for me to try to reschedule things with my schedules and stuff. So that's why I wanted to pull it down for if you need help and it's an emergency, then we'll work out the reading part of it and how to pay for that and if need be. Okay, so but that was the spirit why things have worked out the way they've worked for me. It's not that I don't love you guys and want to help because I do help a lot of people. I read for a lot of people for free. That's what I've been doing out around the communities when I go to these seminars too. I read for others. And I don't charge them anything. It's not what this is about for me. It's about growth and helping others. And it never was about that for me is making money. And I appreciate all the donations you guys do. So do I still teach tarot? I could. Now it's funny because spirit kind of popped in my head earlier and was mentioning it. I want to see how things are going to go with these seminars. I've been doing so many, but I might start to do maybe instead of a readings for the night at times, maybe I'll do a tarot class where I'll start going over just like this in the open. Whoever wants to learn, I'll just do it for free. That's what I feel like. That's what spirit told me to do. I have a video out for Major Arcana, but I feel maybe the interactive part, or maybe just me kind of going over some cards for a show would be great. If you guys have any questions, I know we can kind of go through it. It's just more of a for free. I don't. That doesn't matter to me because God has blessed me so much lately, and I know that it's going to continue to just flow to me. And I know whoever's in my path needs to be in my path for however short amount of time or long amount of time that is. And I feel like there's a lot of you here that have already know these answers, but the validation part, and I feel like the more of you out there that will help others, the more you touch and grow and things like that, that's part of your expansion because the cards are just a tool connecting the spirit. That's what I use it for to kind of harness it. As I mentioned, the first time I got two energies at the same time coming through to talk with me for someone I was reading for. So it's just a tool to kind of harness some of these things to make sense of all the information that you're getting. And literally, like lately, I had a real hard time sleeping by the water in Michigan. I love the water too, by the way. But I was under I was getting downloads. I don't remember what they were, but I was making sense to me. Like, oh, I understand now. I understand now. Like it was so much information getting downloaded when I didn't sleep worth very well when I was there for 4 days straight. But I was getting downloads and understanding of a lot of things that I didn't even ask questions to, but I just knew. I knew like things were like making sense and locking into place. And I want that to happen for all of you. Um, that way you can help. And if you can, like I mentioned, you go to Delphine, Lady D. So she's been good. I mean, she's been reading for a long time, and she was also in my first class with me, if I remember right. with the combo class. So it's great, when it comes to this. And this is all things that, if you want to grab cards, don't be afraid. It's your intention. If you're of the light and want to do things from an integral part of your heart, to help others with good intentions, not to say, well, if I learn this skill, I can start making lots of money with it, or start. That's the wrong intention. The intention is to help others, and the money will come because others will want to help. Say, oh, thank you. It's so helpful. I'm gonna give you something in return. Thank you for your energy. So it's not asking for it. So that's why, for me, I don't care if you give me $1 or $2, whatever you can afford. It doesn't matter. I get half of whatever you guys give me anyway. If it's $2, I get $1 of it because YouTube takes the other half. So it's not about that. I just know that it comes down. It's. I want others to feel what I feel, and praise God when you help others. As you read and somebody says, "Thank you for your reading," don't thank me. All praise and glory be to God, and that's just me working through God, through what He's that's what I tell people. Thank God, because that answer came from your higher self through God that communicated to me. So, all right, guys, it is time to go. I need to go eat as well. I'm sweating. Every time I channel for you guys, I start sweating, so there's a lot of energy that comes through me. Good energy, though. So, I don't know if my light got brighter at all tonight or not. I don't even get to see. So, yep. Yeah, you'll know. You'll know. So, but, I always like it when my light brightens, so that tells me, like, as soon as I start touching my cards and channeling, it just tells me that the light is shining to me, which is beautiful. I took a picture today of myself, in the mirror, just the top of my head. I'm gonna share it with you guys so you can see. Something told me to take a picture. I don't know if you guys can see. That's in my bathroom. Can you see it now? What color are you seeing around my head? So, pretty awesome. So, yeah, that's what I want to do, truth. Yeah, you see that? Exactly. It was beautiful, huh? So, I saw that someone tells me, "Take a picture," and I did, and it's just beautiful. Yep, blue aura, exactly. And the last time I took it, it was like a bluish purple as well. Yep, blue, exactly right. Pretty crazy, huh? Yeah, that aura is so strong, so I want you guys to do that. If you feel something, like if you're in a mirror, if there's some light behind you and there's a mirror, take a picture of yourself if the spirit tells you to. You'll be able to see your aura. And actually, besides my aura, FYI, I don't know if you can see. Let me see. Do you see the white energy around me though? So okay, you see my aura or my let's see. Okay, right there. You see the white energy around my head? There's a white energy surrounding my besides the aura. Ooh, see I just changed like that? Wow, what just happened? Okay. So, you can actually see me I'm trying to get a good angle on it. So you can see white energy right around the edge here, right? It comes all the way around my head. So, it's crazy. So, yeah. And real quick, so you don't think I'm crazy, I'm gonna show you this video, 20-second video, okay? It's playing. This is the video I took of the moon the other night in Michigan. Watch the moon. See the UFO moving around it? Now watch the moon. You see it pulse? Crazy. And I have a longer one that did it like 4 or 5 times. You see the it pulsed. So, Chrissy, I'm telling you, man, I pick a bunch of UFOs. So so I'll try to. Another person. Sorry, another call. A lot of people blowing up my phone tonight for readings from all over the world. So, but yeah, exactly. It's crazy. So That tells me trust yourself, and you get these messages, roll with it, man. Roll with it. Roll with it. There's a reason why you're being told to these things. You're being shown things for a reason, so you can enlighten yourself and question the things that you think you know. That's the purpose of that. It's your own awakening, and each one of us will have our own individual experiences. Only you will have that experience. Only you specific. But you can share that with others, so others can say, "Oh, when they have their experiences, it's not so foreign. It's not so anxious feeling and confusing." It's like, "Okay, that was me. That was a gift. Those are gifts to you from God and the universe. That's a gift to show you these things. So accept it." So nice. Appreciate that. But you're right, though, Lady D. Yes, round tables, no problem. I have no problem with that. I push that, so I'm glad you guys are still doing your spiritual round tables. That's good. So Lady D is very good when it comes to the readings. Don't hesitate to reach out to her too. There's a lot of gifted readers out there, and I know Lady D has good intentions to helping people as well. So I wouldn't push the information out. I've known her enough now. And connecting my guys with her guys in my readings, I know enough about her now that I would say that yes, go, good intentions, good intentions. So support her channel, support Dennis's channel, support Joe's channel, um, you know, those and others channels that they kind of are branching out and guests they bring on. There's a reason those energies are good. They're connecting. So if they connect with you, awesome. If they don't, awesome too. So each journey is different, but I just want to let you guys know that there's good intention there. So don't be afraid to look her up. Okay. So I'm gonna go to if I get a if I get a message tonight from Spirit, I'm gonna go out to see about the moon and then see what Spirit has for me. If I have anything good, I'll share with you guys in the next reading. So I'll try to do because I did 2 weeks. I did my last pull. I did it for 2 weeks, and I said in my pull, we're going to learn something about the financial system that's going to be disruptive. And guess what happened? Like literally, like a couple of days afterwards, banks crashed again. More banks absorbed. So this is telling me that this is what the focus is on right now is the financial system is what the universe is focusing on. So I feel at the end of my second week, next week, before I go on another seminar and trip, Texas actually, I'll be in Dallas, Texas, or Gaylord, Texas, next weekend, or this coming weekend, not tomorrow, but the weekend after. But I feel like right before that, I'll do another video for others so we can just to see what Spirit has for the next 2 weeks. And I'm trying to do a video a week. Maybe if I don't have time to do a reading, I try to do a video posting so I kind of keep the message and the energy out there. And then I try to do as many of these readings as I can. So yeah, it's coming. It's here. I'm telling you that it's here. So that's why Spirit's been focusing on this. It's the financial. They're going after the finances right now. So the darkness, this is a big red pill for a lot of people. So, yep, very, very controlled demolition. So you'll see things like, "Oh my god, it's not happening." They keep pushing the debt limits out. That's okay. It's okay. It's all to bring your energy down and to make you doubt and to make you feel they're gonna continue on into the last possible second. So it's already happened. Believe that. I promise you. So you're just seeing these things play out more, okay? And even the top banks, I promise you, quote this channel from when I said this, I don't know how many weeks ago now. Every bank, including the top JP, Pedo Morgan, Bank of Un-America, and Wells, not Wells Fargo, they're all going to crash. They're going to become redemption centers and assistance centers to help you with anything that you may need help with in the future. But they will not be in charge of handling money. Guaranteed. You can clock that one. I promise you that's been shown to me from God that their power is done. So it's done with that. And once you take the money away, you take their ability to do anything else. Why do you think that the shitty things we're seeing, the shitty green screens about the president, and even their fake planes that they're having props put out with green screens behind them, they're not going anywhere. They're not doing anything. And everything they're doing is null and void. Even stuff from back in the day. Even Trump's presidency was null and void. It's it's garbage. It's all since Abraham Lincoln's time, when half of Congress separated and they didn't finish voting on things, that's when Congress and everything was dissolved. The government was dissolved at that point. But then the executive orders come into play, and that means I'm going to become unilateral and make this a state of emergency. So that's what they're doing. They use those powers. So everything. I love Trump. He's up and good. He's doing good things. I know that. I know it. I've looked at him at least 5 or 6 times, plus the dreams I've had from God. So and my guide. So all good. So he is doing some great things. But what I'm saying is even his presidency was fraudulent. They all are. The whole government's fraudulent. All of it. It's always been, even the judicial, all three branches of the government have been fraudulent for generations. Generations. So, but that's all going to come out. It's all going to come out. Trust that it will. Like we mentioned, we just manifested. It's already done. It's Man, look at all that information that's going to flow to us. It's going to be amazing. It's amazing. It's the information that's flowing to us is amazing because it's already done. So, yep. All right, guys. Look for my next video, maybe sometime coming up here. Look in the next beginning of the week, possibly. I'm leaving on Wednesday to go to Texas. So, um, yeah, it won't be banks. They're not going to be called banks anymore. There's no such thing as a bank. Banks don't lend money. It's in the law. Banks don't lend money. All they do is literally take you and they take your money because you're the surety for all this stuff, and then they just loan you out. They pimp you out. They're pimps. So they're just pimping out. That's all they do. So banks, per law, cannot loan their own money, and banks cannot loan investors money. So whose money are they investing, or whose money are they loaning out? It's you. You're loaning your own money out. They just take it and steal it from you. They take your surety from your sweat from your brow and your pledge from your promissory note that you signed. It says, I'm going to back this up. Guess what? They create new money. They just print some more money and they take it. And that's how they do it. And they loan it back to you as a loan, which is totally fraudulent. So these banks have all been put into place to be criminal from day one. Day one. You're not supposed to loan money with interest, period. And what do you think all this money goes for our taxes? Our taxes, really? I'm going to tell you, not a single penny of our taxes goes to the government. To fund anything. Ronald Reagan put that out in his papers, I think in 1984 or something like that. He mentioned that not a single penny of our taxes go to anything. It goes to laundering money, funneling of it through the NGOs, and it goes to foreign countries. Foreign countries. So where does all this money come from then? How can they afford to, if this little bit of tax, I made $20, I paid $20, okay. I paid $100, $200 for my taxes. Okay, every paycheck, okay, whatever the amount of money you make. You think that little bit of money for all the workers out there, and a lot of them aren't high-paying jobs. Do you think that we can afford all the spending that we're sending out and all? No. Everything is tied to your Social Security number and your birth certificate. That's a bond that's created when you were born. They made you a commodity. And that's how they back this whole system is off of your energy. That sounds like demonic activity to me, taking your energy from you and using it for their benefit because they can't do things with it. So that's done. So I just want you to know that this is coming. There's going to be no bank, zero. There's no such thing as a bank. Our post offices are banks. Every court, look it up in Black's Dictionary. Every court is a bank. It's a C bank. And then the bank. So we have banks and banks and banks and banks and banks everywhere. Guess what? Robbing you blind. Robbing us all blind. Always happened. It's a system set up for failure. And it is crashing. It was always meant to be that way. They're creating panic. After the panic created for financial markets, they create a war with false flags so they can take that money. So people don't realize that the inflation is bad, the economy sucks, their money's getting drained by vampires, and then they turn around and put a war on for everybody. So then we have a goal, make it better, fix this, But really what they're doing is taking that money that they've inflated and keep printing and printing and printing and keep laundering and laundering and laundering it through the military industrial complex, which is the United States government in Washington, D.C. The three-headed monster, as I mentioned, the Vatican, London, City of London, and the Washington, D.C. So, and please, if you could, the one thing that I would ask you to do on Twitter, uh, Truth Social, YouTube, whatever it is, whatever you're part of, Instagram, if you ever see them call this a democracy, oh, they're threatening our democracy, please crush them right away and say, we don't want to be a democracy. A democracy is a 14th Amendment slave term. If you look at his story or history, every democracy that started out as a democracy became a dictatorship. Every one of them. And you're seeing it now play out in full real time speed in the public view. We are a constitutional republic. Please go read the original Constitution. It's the Constitution for the United States of America. No, excuse me. It's the Constitution of the United States Constitution for America, for the United States of America, or for America. It's not of, it's for. I'm having a brain damage right now. But it's the for, the of. So it tells me that's the difference. It's for America. So everything else has been null and void. That Constitution was out the window a long time ago. They rewrote it. So now this Constitution is out. When they bankrupt a corporation, they have to create a new Constitution. Now it's the White House, not called the United States anymore. That was bankrupted under Trump. This new CEO of the corporation is called White House Inc. That's what the corporation, or the Duns and Bradstreet number of the government. And guess who the CEO is? Dipshit drooler resident that's in the fake White House. So that's what it is, guys. I'm telling you, there's a lot of shit that's going on. We don't want a democracy. It should be. They should. I put that out today on Twitter. We should call it demonocracy because that's what it is. It's evil. It's to control. It's to take your God-given rights that God gave you under common law, the law of the land, which is superior to the law of the water, and they've turned around and made it into privileges and rights that they can control. There's no such thing as a gun. That's a term that's made up. There's no such thing as a firearm. That's a term they made up. It's armed. You have the right to bear arms, which is they call it an arm because it's an extension of your arm. Assault rifle, also made up bullshit. All they do, they're good at making up words and making things twisted around that don't make sense or may seem different than what the real definition is. It's called legalese and making shit up. They're masters at making shit up. So that's my point is everything you hear, like these politicians, AOC, I read something from Joe Biden today, something from Joe Biden. I read something from, I just want to see what these idiots say. And then literally, I put my comments in there every time, like, read your Constitution, man. Second Amendment, they're trying to ban assault rifles. Let's get it done. Guess what? Shall not be infringed upon. Those words, I don't care what it is. Our amendments are not to be touched and infringed upon, but they will because becoming the 14th, when they abolished slavery at the 13th Amendment, they made us all slaves at the 14th Amendment, put us in that debt slavery system. And by the way, some people know there was white slaves too, not just black slaves. There were actually there were black slave owners way back in the day that owned white slaves. But they don't tell you that. It's all division, everything. I mean, literally, there's a lot of stuff. You're like, wow, wow. It's pretty insane when you look at it. So stay alight, believe me, as be the change. This is you might hear this online too. Be the change you want to be. Be the change you want to see. It starts with you. God gave you the ability. Now you got to make it happen. All right, guys. I'm gonna let you go. Yeah, Irish slaves, a bunch of them. So love you guys. I'm gonna do another video here next week, as I mentioned, just a video to see what I get. I always throw a little truth in there with my readings and then a little truth afterwards because I feel like this is a combination for your spiritual growth. And everything's about kumbaya and don't focus on the 3D world and all that. Okay, but part of this ascension is you mastering both realms or multiple realms at the same time. That's a true story. So you can say, I don't want to focus on that stuff. I'm just going to focus on the spiritual. Great. But you have to come back to the physical world. You still do physical things, but you start with the spiritual realm and work your way down. So align your spirit with your mind and your body. But you're going to interact with all these dimensions at one time. I promise you that. That's a guarantee. So, all right, guys, stay the light. I love you all. I'll check you guys on the flip side. Like I said, look for my video next week. Check out the roundtables that they do. And also, Lady D, if she wants, if you need a reading from her, if she wants to do a reading for you, absolutely awesome. So that's what I just want to push this stuff out for others to help. You're not alone. There's all the others out there who are very, very good and very gifted. And if you need something from me or a personal reading or an emergency or something comes up, email me, okay? And I will do my very best to try to get that connected with you so we can get it done as quickly as we possibly can. So all my readings have been caught up, and that's why I took my website down. So I didn't want to keep getting more bookings. So it's not that I don't want to read for people. It's just my energy is so spread. I don't want others to have complaints about not being read for in a timely manner, and I know others have answers and things like that. So, okay, guys, so all will be well. So, love you guys. Talk to you guys on the flip side. Stay the light, be the love. We've already won. SOULdier light out.